don't want to do that mid-race.
It's worked with him, through me, and us, and stuff. And then he was like, oh, that'd be fine then, because she'll be great, and I know she's alright, and all this, like, you know. I know she won't be asking for money that she didn't need, or, you know.
Is your wires caught anyway?
Right, I'm going to join a party with Dan. Best luck.
Oh, yeah.
So that come about. Were you actually listening?
Okay, so get that, my stream, copy that, Streamlabs, properties, paste. Has it been a bit cooler down your way today for you?
It's been raining all day, mate.
Oh, that's been nice, hasn't it?
Not really.
Looks like we're going to get some rain.
Great grid so far by the looks of things.
Fucking honestly. You up? Yeah, I'm going to try and get him up tomorrow. Shane's in. Obviously, Stelford joined late. Smithy and Little Each are on their way. Right.
We've only got 14 drivers now, haven't we?
Yeah, we're down to 14, yeah. I don't know if Keegs is racing. I mean, he did Sunday.
What's the pit window?
I'm going to put it on in a second. So I've just got to work it out. Right, so that's the stream ready to go. So that calculator. 23 divided by 4.
Carries the qualifying ban.
So 5.75, so... lap 6.
We should really round them, shouldn't we?
Well, that's what I did do.
Number.
Yeah, I mean, normally if it's under 0.5, we round it down. If it's over 0.5, we round it up, don't we?
Oh, okay. Oh, my dick. Reminder, Bar's carrying a qualifying ban.
Yep. So turn that off. Right, let's go pop to the toilet quickly. Sorry, Mark on mute. No James Grill tonight. So the only one we should have 2 drivers missing technically tonight then, Dan. We should be 2 drivers missing.
Where's Little Leech?
On his way, he's just finished his dinner. Smithy's just texted him. We should be James Grill and Bozzy Boy missing because James Grill's just said he can't race tonight. Just message me.
Where's Phil?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. To the Discord.
Oh shit, let's put my phone on silent. I don't see us seeing Leon Fernie.
He's on.
Oh. I'll take that back. I don't see us seeing Leon Fernie. I see us seeing Smoky Devil.
Well, I'm starting. No Stealth, no Little Leech. No DJ. They've had their warnings. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Dory. Let's
go. No, but I knew Dan was doing it, and Dan knew I was doing it.
Because we're gay as fuck.
Yeah.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Bravo team, going dark.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a sunny Germany here for the osch race. 4 races left this season, and we hope to get 3 drivers in the lobby by the end of the tonight. DJ, Phil, Little Leech, and Stealth Soft, we hope to get him. Hi, I'm Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box once again, and for the penultimate time this season, Dan. But how are you?
I'm doing absolutely marvellous this evening, Matthew. How about yourself?
Very, very well, thank you. Better today than yesterday and the day before.
Wow, definitely now this heat is gone, as all the drivers are not making any movement here. They do not want to be leaving the pits, as Iwasaki does. And what an exciting night of ever race here. We come to one of my favourite circuits, Osch A. I am so looking forward to this one.
A track that you took 2 both race wins in the Pro App. A track that, you're very, very in love with, I would say. It's a track that really suits the way you drive, and a track that you enjoy coming to. Every time we've been here, this or Bathurst have been your only track choices, I do believe, over the course of the seasons to pick. You've always wanted to be here or at Bathurst. I don't know what you love about this, because I can't stand it. but to watch it as a spectator, it's always fascinating.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just a circuit that, you know, when you have a track that you just gel with.
Yeah.
This is it for me, and no matter what discipline of car, I can run this track as fast as I can. I've done it with Formula Renaults, I've done it with touring cars, and I can do it in the GT3s as well. So I don't know what it is about this track. I'm just always quick here, and I think it, like you said, it very much suits my driving style. It's a track of patience. You really do have to take your time, and as you go through, as Dean goes through this chicane, that's one of the part of the circuit that you do have to be patient at. But there's loads of various different parts of the circuit as well, and it's such an underrated circuit in my opinion. It really throws up challenges here.
It does indeed, then, and you're right. It is a track that does always seem to suit your driving style. You kind of like them ones where you have to be patient, don't you? And I think that's why you like Bruno before last season. But we've got 10 guys out there. We're all expecting 12. No Buzzy Boy, no JM Grill tonight, we do believe. So for these 10 drivers, and hopefully 12 with DJ Phil and Little Leach coming a little sooner, what will they be able to do for us out on the track? Little Leach tonight, Dan, can win the Drivers' Championship. But he's not yet here, so this kind of gives a lifeline to his two rivals.
I'm just trying to figure out what his priority is. Is it Love Island or is it racing? That's the question.
Hey, we know he likes to juggle the both.
Yeah, definitely so. Would you like to know some track facts about this circuit?
I will like to know some track facts about this circuit.
Well, first things first, this track is a length of 2.2 miles long, and for people who like things in kilometres because they're weird, 3.6 kilometres long. Relatively flat circuit bar the final sector, where it tends to dip a little bit into the final sector. FIA grade 2, and with a number of 14 corners around here. Track was only opened in the 25th of July 1997, so it's quite a relatively new circuit, but not been used recent times. It's actually one of the circuits that I think it's a track day now more than anything. It's not really a circuit that gets used, like a bit like Rockingham and stuff like that. There's not really a used circuit. If we'd had this race in about 5 days time, it would have been the 25th anniversary of this circuit, so we would have celebrated it, but sadly not. Construction cost 58 million euros, and the track record is actually held by an A1 car. If anyone remembers what those cars were.
They was the old formula bit for countries, wasn't it? So like United Kingdom and Holland and things like that. What a series.
And they had the boost button, as you see the Super Crash Bros running in sync here on circuit. The track is actually held a record there by a Russian. I can't pronounce his name. I know he's Sergey. That's all I read. 1 minute 18.8. I wasn't going to try and do his last name. And just I'm going to get this just before Jamie does it tomorrow night. A very, very famous quote here was mentioned by an old BTCC commentator and an old champion as well of John Callanan, saying that the guy who designed the first corner should be taken into a dark room and beat about in the head. And what a fantastic turn one it is, I do have to say.
And you told me off air, Dan, that turn one's actually changed since Project Cars 2.
Yeah, it's been redesigned since. I'll get back to that one in a minute. Circuit championships that have been held here. Obviously, DTM, ETCC, which is the European Touring Car Championship, FIA GTs, World Touring Car, obviously, and I did not know this. It held held an endurance championship for bikes, and 8 hours on your motorcycle. That must be absolute hell.
That's a long stint.
That is a very long stint. As we, if I can get the right person at the right time, Leon Fernie, we'll go with him. He's coming up to the chicane. The chicane used to be called McDonald Chicane. It's no longer called McDonald Chicane no more. So there's an interesting fact for you about that one. And of course, as Matt has already said, another quick mention about that chicane as well. Most cars on the first lap, if they took the aggressive line through the chicane, most of them wouldn't make the end of a couple of laps because they would tend to get broken suspensions.
Right.
Yeah, most people tend to break the suspension through the chicane. 90-degree corner, turn 1, has been changed in recent years to a more open chicane due to the fact that this circuit's produced way too many multiple car collisions in turn 1. And to put it into perspective, let's go on board with Leon Fernie as he comes down to turn 1. And last season was hectic enough with the river that we had as well, but this corner is so sudden and so sharp. Look at this entry.
90-degree left, and before you've even thought about getting on the power, you're pretty much turning right straight away. Leon Fern has a bit of a wiggle on the back there, and yeah, it's very tricky, Dan.
It is indeed, and current records or winners or previous winners in the Pro-Am was actually Arjun in race 1 and Kelly in race 2. Winners in Pro was myself for both races, and the records here: Pro-Am, Arjun holds the qualifying and the race. The qualifying of 128.3 and the race was a 129.9. In the Pro, both records is held by myself, a 127.2 and a 128.1 for the race. And that is pretty much a rundown of osch Slabine. Not a lot of facts this circuit, but
no.
My favourite one is this chicane.
So yeah, McDonald chicane. So then, will them records be broken tonight? Will Kieran Argent's records be upstandard? Will anybody be able to break them tonight? At the minute, it's the two Super Crash Bros and Smithy. 3 Audis leading the way at the moment, as we do have Little Each in, just awaiting DJ Phil then tonight, that are doing the business so far. And if you are Shane, Smithy and Brint, that is currently decent pace. Say the next 2 closest cars are 2 Mercedes-Benz. And we've gone from a track that last week, Dan, really suited the Mercedes. Yes, the weather wasn't kind for the Mercedes, but really suited it. To a track here where this car and the Ginetta could be an interesting talking point.
More importantly, this is an interesting talking point. I've totally forgot about this. The pit entry. It's so long. If people can see on the screen themselves, there's a red line, and on that red line, that is the pit entry and exit. Bryn doing a fantastic job of demonstrating, but it's such a long pit lane. Very long pit lane.
And not only is it a long pit lane, you're on the limiter for what feels an eternity, because just as you pull off the track and go into the pit lane, before you start to turn the corner, you're hitting the limiter to get yourself into the pits. And you just see on the little map, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on screen, but there's like an orange line going across just where the corner sort of turns on that red line. And you hit the limiter pretty much where that orange cone is by the blue barrier is the pit limiter, and you're nowhere near the garages, so you've got a long way to go on that pit limiter. Dan Ukbar puts himself into second, and while we're speaking of Ukbar, Dan, qualifying ban for retiring last week will put him at the back of the grid for this first race.
Yeah, due to obviously bad luck of last week and the horrible rain that we had at Daytona, that for some reason his game kept glitching out and giving him slicks by the list of things, but still, nonetheless, he did retire, so he will be carrying a qualifying ban for this race, and it is a shame because I think the Ginetta looks quite strong here.
Yeah, the Ginetta looks a good car, as does the Audi look a good car around here. In the top 5 currently separated by half a second as Holty, who we have to say is driving with COVID tonight, puts it into P3 at this moment in time. And this man Smithy, 1 win to his name, could wrap up the Constructors' Championship maybe tonight. 23 points the gap there. I'll get into the tables momentarily. So actually, no, sorry, he can't win the Constructors' Championship tonight. Ignore me. But he's really put in a shift. 2 men we are missing, though, Dan. JM Grill, currently second in the championship. Shame to not have him here tonight because he's been consistent, and that first win kind of eludes him at the moment. And it would have been interesting to see what he could do tonight. But this track in that Mercedes-Benz will not suit any driver, you'd imagine, as Dean actually goes second place.
Yeah, I think that the Mercedes is going to struggle. It's got the advantage down the first straight and down towards the back straight as well. As actually, if I can find the right driver, let's go on board a Welshie and take a lap of this circuit, and we'll show you the advantages and disadvantages of each car. Lamborghini tends to like the fast corners, and again, I think this car is going to struggle tonight. This is why the Audi and the Ginetta should be strong. As we head down the main straight, a little bit of dip in the track, as Welshie now heads to turn 1, which is famously changed over the years, but into a 90-degree corner. Different ways of approaching it, but you tend to want to take the late apex, get as tight through the corner as you can, and let the car drift out wide ever so slightly and tuck it in for the apex. The rear does not like this corner whatsoever and wants to step out the entire time. Then you come up to the next hairpin, turn 3. 2 different approaches. You can try and take the middle apex if you possibly can, or you can V it. You can go out wide and come back in tight to get a better slingshot. Welshie up on his time, heading out into the triple, turn 4, 5 and 6, and one of those circuits where if you touch the curbs, the car will go round. It's very tricky to get right, and as he heads into another long right-hander, again the rear will not be happy. A little bit of camber as he goes in the corner and then into a McDonald chicane. We're going to call it that anyway.
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
Very easy to take track limits, and also the exit. The car is screaming at you. Tyres are on fire right now as you then head down towards the back straight. relatively easy down here. This corner, this right-hand corner, is very easy to overshoot. And if you miss your break in, you can miss it by a mile. Does it go into the corner? Well, she misses the apex into the left-hander. Very easy to run wide, touch the gravel, and then your time is all completely gone. You can take this corner a lot faster than it actually looks. Let the car run out wide, and then again, an awkward cambered corner as you come uphill ever so slightly. Try and hit the apex and try and get a very good drive as you head down the back straight. And like I said, Matt, this circuit is such a challenge as well. She crosses the line and improves and goes into the 131s. At the minute, though, it is the Audis, the Super Crash Bros, at the top of the table.
Top of the table, and it's Bryn who's broke the 130 barrier and gets into the 129, so the only man there at the moment. But Shane, who had an awesome week last week at Daytona, looks like he could be on his way for a win, I said, by the end of the season, this week or next week. And I think tonight is his really his best opportunity. But going back to what Dan said earlier, there's the start straight, there's the back straight. That is it for the Mercedes-Benz. There isn't much the Mercedes-Benz can overpower other cars with here tonight. And it is going to be a tricky track, as DJ Phil has got himself in, so we do have the 12 drivers that should be here for this race. And to Bryn from Shane from Dean, Shane from Bryn from Dean, as Shane goes 4 tenths quicker than his teammate and puts it into a 29.3. And Dan, these Super Crash Bros are looking mighty racy tonight. But let's get into these championship standings then. It's Little Each who currently leads the way, 319 points, 74 clear of JM Grill. Has to outscore JM Grill by 34 points. He's 81 clear of Lucas Roth. Has to outscore Lucas Roth by 27 points. If he does that, it'll be game over for them drivers. Holty is then third after Ukbar received 25-point deduction for his third retirement of the season. Ukbar on 197, Welshie on 196, Ukbar then P6 on 192. So very tight between them three. Bryn only 9 points behind Ukbar in P7, with Dean Wisocki only 12 points behind him in P8. Smithy a bit further back on 139. He's 4 points clear of DJ Phil in 10th, and Shane already up ahead of Stealth Sloth by 5 points. He's tied with DJ Phil. He's on 135. Stealth Sloth on 130. Bozzy Boy on 121. And Leon Fernie bringing up the rear on 12 points. Pick a Mix Motorsport lead the Constructors' Championship by 23 points with My Mate Racing. None of their cars here, 92 behind. Terminal Velocity Racing on 131 behind. They're a point ahead of MC Motorsport. The Super Crash Bros are 8 behind MC Motorsport. And the only team that cannot win is Getting Quicker My Mate. And say we're at 4 rounds left, every team bar 1 can still win this Constructors' Championship, and that is fascinating. As Shane now dips into the 28s, I said, Dan, this man's best opportunity is tonight. It could just be that way with Ukbar having a quali ban.
Could definitely indeed, unless this man can finally hook it up and get a lap together. We know Little Each can produce the laps when he needs to. He's currently on a high fuel run at this precise minute, so we're not looking at the fastest laps here from Little Each, but that is already a stonker of a lap time from Shane. I'm just trying to look at the lap records here. The lap record is actually, as Little Each now puts in a decent lap time. Lap record is a 128.3, so Shane is only 6 tenths off of that right now, and he just seems to be improving each lap. And like I was saying earlier, Matt, the characteristics of this circuit should suit this Audi.
Yeah.
It's a chassis circuit, not really downforce affected, because like I said, there's no real high-speed corners, so that's why the Lamborghini's going to struggle. The Lamborghini likes high-speed to medium corners. The Audi and the Ginetta tends to like the more slow speed corners and more medium corners, and which this has a majority of them, which the Audi should suit. The other hand is the Mercedes-Benz. There's not a long enough straight for it to really stretch its legs. You can see here, Dean, it's just fighting with the car consistently through corners and is not planted.
And I can tell you in practice, Dan, that it is a battle to get this Mercedes around this track. As Bryn goes back to the pits. Good evening, though, to Dean Holty, PN Motorsport, Welshie, Audio Sport, our beloved sponsor and fantastic sponsor. Go and check them out on Facebook. Search for Audio Sport, or click the link, I do believe, in the description if you want to go and see what they do. Mummy D in the chat, as well as Peaceful Stepdad and N Plava, all here. And a massive shout out to N Plava for his help on Sunday, jumping between PN and Dan's stream to tell me what the tyre pressures was and when Jeff said it was going to rain, and it was a big help for the commentary.
I just drove. Every now and then Plava used to tell me, show me your entire life. That's what we told me. But nonetheless, I think tonight is going to be a very interesting night. I think it's going to be about who can stay smooth and consistent. DJ Phil Crystalline goes P6, so he's finding time out there.
I don't think you're going to get a driver that's going to win this race that you might expect to win the race. By that I mean, I don't think Little Leach is going to have it all his own way.
It's all about who put the practice in. It's a circuit that not a lot of people race on. I don't think we've ever seen this track selected with GT3s in the open lobbies in the past. I know touring cars and Clios and stuff are absolutely good fun around here, and they've always have been. But with this kind of circuit, I think you don't get many people open a lobby here because people detest this track, and I don't know why. It's absolutely marvellous here.
It's no Donington Park.
Well, Donington Park isn't I have no comment on British circuits. I don't tend to do well on them.
No, you don't tend to do it.
Oh, that's not good to see. But bar Silverstone is the only circuit that I tend to do well on, and I think Silverstone is dull as the shore.
I couldn't agree more. 23 people watching, 8 people have hit that thumbs up button. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button. Press the bell to be notified. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, join Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier in the commentary box tomorrow night for the pros around this circuit. It's Dean in the comments. Game crashed, so he should be back after the game reloads. He's got plenty of time because he's got this whole 2-minute warning and he has the whole of qualifying, but obviously he'll want to be back in towards the end of the practice. Even if he doesn't get a lap in, he'll want the full 10 minutes here, Dan, because you have to say track position is key around here in qualifying.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think yeah, track position is key, but at the same time it's a short enough circuit that you can make space. You can. It's not a long track. It's not like a Bruno where it takes like 2 minutes to get around. You know, you can make the leeway as the two MC Motorsport boys just switch positions there. But I think it's a circuit where you can make space for one another. And also, just carrying on what Matthew says, head over to the Facebook page as well. Head over to our Discord group as well. And also follow our Instagram account as well. So make sure you get in as much Simplay Motorsport as you possibly can. We even have TikTok. Follow our TikTok as well.
We do have TikTok, and obviously with the season coming to an end, 4 races left this season, do not think that this is the end and of the streams or anything else, because we're having a bit of a longer off season, but we're going to be bringing you some ACC. F2 will still be there on a Sunday night. We've got plans for something coming on a Tuesday night. What all will be revealed soon. There's going to be a special 2-year anniversary stream in which Unorthodox Dan Davis himself is going to bring you the coverage of that. I am unfortunately in Switzerland, so cannot do that one. But we have got a lot planned in the upcoming months before Season 7, wow, hits the tracks. And Dan, rumours are you're back in the car for next season. It's going to be great to see you out there on the track once again.
Wow, I'm back in a car. Which car I've confirmed to drive yet, I've still yet to decide. But I'm looking forward to making my return. Need to discuss with admins if I'm being dropped into Pro-Am or Pro, but if I've been put in Pro-Am, then a lot of people will not be too happy about that one for sure. But
Did you hear the news the other day of a possible other returning driver?
No.
Rabbit Joe.
Yes, I remember. Rabbit
Spoke
Joe
because obviously yourself, Joe and Jamie are the stewards for the GT3s. Spoke to Joe and Jamie the other night. Obviously, we've been in discussion about stewarding. Obviously, you're stepping away due to racing next season. Spoke with Joe and Jamie, and Joe's message back was very interesting about he might want to get back in that car and get back racing again. So, having the Season 3 Pro-Am champ will be fantastic to have him back out there, because we've seen he scored points in F2. We're going to see what he can do in ACC for the Simplay Racing team, even though there's no teams in that one. But it's going to be fantastic to see what them guys can do. If those of you who did jump, by the way, just while we were on about ACC, if those of you guys and girls who did jump on my Twitch stream over the weekend on Saturday and gave me a massive support, thank you very much. We came P8 overall out of 16 drivers. We qualified 10th, which Maz made me qualify, so I will get him back for that. But thank you all for your support. We didn't pick confirm, though.
You did not pick confirm. I kept telling you towards the end to pick confirm.
You did, yes, you did.
PM says that I need to do Pro-Am in a Nissan. No chance. I will not be driving that B7 Animal.
Z4, I reckon, PM.
I was thinking the Aston Martin or the Cadillac. As those cars have
Oh God! If you hook the Aston Martin up, that'll be even worse than driving the Porsche.
The other reason why you didn't win last night.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Weekend.
Holty's coming into the pit lane. So Holty's on the limiter now. Look how he's just turned his limiter on. Look how far Holty's had to go.
Ignore them. Ignore those signs.
Yeah, ignore them second signs. It's the orange cone that you saw just before he came into the pits. Holty is now... Look how far he has to go before he even reaches his pit box. This is insane.
This is a very, very long pit lane. And I feel sorry for Bryn because his pit box is right after the tyre wall.
Yeah, the tyre wall sticks out a little bit and you've really got to hook it in and get it turned in. Well, I don't feel sorry for Bryn is... Look at that, Dan. 1 and 2, the Super Crash Bros.
Can they convert it now? That is the question. As we say, good evening to Charlie Norcott in the chat.
Yeah, Charlie Norcott and Michael Benbridge as well, who says, come on, Shane and Bryn. So I believe, I don't know if I'm right with this, Michael, it's Shane's brother. So great to see the support from everybody in the chat for Shane and Bryn. Will they get pole position? As I've just had a message here, Dan, from DJ Phil. Dan can team up with me in the Porsche if he gets put in Pro-Am. There you go. There's a contract on the table for you.
I mean, I haven't been given that information just yet, but I think also if I'd be put in Pro-Am in the Porsche 911, I think my will be raised for sure.
Yes.
Speaking of the Porsche 911, thank you DJ Phil for leading me on to that. I think the best car for this circuit would be the Porsche 911.
I'd have to agree with you.
This suits its driving style to near enough every single part of the track. Every single practice session we have done here, I've gone in the Porsche. I have given the Lamborghini a go around here, and the Porsche just seems at home at this circuit. I haven't tried the Audi, but I know for a fact that the Audi is a very good car around here. Bryn, to perfection, gets the McDonald's chicane bang on. He just skims that cone there, and I guarantee you any money, those cones will be gone by the end of this outlap.
Oh, they 100% will be gone. They will not be standing there come the end of this outlap. And, yeah, the interesting, I think, as well, is...
As they're already gone.
the Porsche would be the best car. I'd also like to see what, like, the McLaren and the Acura and the Ferrari would do around here, because we saw Gary and Kelly a few seasons back in the Renault, and it went very well. Again, another chassis-based car. So I'd like to see what the McLaren, Ferrari, Acura would do around here as well.
Well, the Renault is actually taking a race win here, in the hands of Kelly.
Yeah, in the hands of Kelly, yeah. Gary got second place to yourself here in the Renault. So, you know, yeah. Mickey is Shane's brother, says Charlie. So, yeah, confirming that one.
Pit confirmed, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's Bryn. Now, it's going to be the first man set a lap time round here, and it's all about getting those banker laps in. You don't have to go flat out on lap one. It's just getting a lap time on the board. May not be your best, but at least get one on the board, because you know throughout the night you could be gaining more and more time. And like I said, it's just minute seconds that you can find here or there. Braking maybe too late is probably another thing that a lot of drivers tend to do here. They brake very, very late, and then they miss the apex of corners, miss everything that they need to be hitting. Is Bryn to perfection once again, showing how McDonald's chicane should be handled. And I love calling it McDonald's.
Really aggressive through there. Dean's just come out of the pits late. Leon Fernie just come out of the pit lane. Let's just go on board Leon Fernie a second. I know we're trying to watch Britain's end of his lap, but this pit exit as well. Such a tricky pit exit, because you come round what is turn one. You've then got this sharp 90-degree right-hander because of the barrier. And where are you? Bang. Straight coming out onto the racing line. Leon Fernie stays wide, but you are straight onto the track here, Dan, aren't you?
You are indeed. Bryn just understeering, really mad. Got to be cautious coming back out on track as well, because you will come into the firing line of other drivers as Bryn goes top 29.9. Well, that's
a good banker.
0.8. So
that's a good banker from Bryn.
Those guys.
Yeah, I think Bryn there's got a good banker indeed on the board. 29's close to 28s he was in practice, and I think that is a fantastic banker, as I believe that is Little Each coming out the final corner with Lucas Roth behind him. Here comes Little Each, championship leader, 100th off the back of Bryn. Lucas Roth 4/10 off the back of Bryn. Stealth Sloth now, what can he do? Ukbar will obviously be starting all the way down in P12, which will actually ruin his P1 qualifying of 5th place. No, it doesn't. It keeps him 5th place on his Q1 average. Here comes DJ Phil in the Ginetta, what can he do? Followed by Shane. DJ Phil goes 6th. Shane, the man who was on pole earlier, quickest in practice. Shane goes provisional pole once again by some half a second, Dan. And Shane looks the man on form. Yet to take a pole position. Could this be number 1 for him?
Possibly so. It could be indeed. I just missed the driver across the line. Who did I miss? I think I might have missed Holty. I did. As Holty has just had a moment there.
Yeah, hello. That jumped a little bit. Leon Fernie's just come out the pits this lap, so this is his out lap. Smithy not yet set a lap time, nor is Dean, as Dean's just done an out lap. So where is Smithy? Coming into McDonald's now. While you're there, Smithy, a McChicken sandwich meal wouldn't go amiss. As he comes, I've had a salad tonight, Danny. You're proud of me, hey?
Very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Back towards the line. Can he find that half a second on his teammate?
Does.
He can, and he goes top of the table. Little Leach now, can he respond to these guys?
Absolutely on fire at the minute, he's Bryn. Shane now a 10th off him, but in the pits. Woshi to the line, he stays 5th fastest. Little Leach, well, he needs 6.5 temps. He just needs a bit more than 6.5 temps, in fact. Dean's back in the pit lane, so his lap time's gone to pot. He's got to go again. Here comes Little Leach, finds 9 and a bit temps to go 3 temps quicker than Bryn. Lucas off to the line, no improvement from him. That sounded like a Ginetta DJ Phil coming through as Woshi's gone back to the pit lane. It is, so just ahead of Stealth Soft. Someone else has just crossed the line. Not sure who was that. Smithy who's crossed the line just then. Is he he's still not set a lap time.
Just seems to be struggling to get a lap under his belt. Where's Shane? He's come back out on track as Stealth Soft crossing the line. DJ Phil has improved on his lap time as well. Leon Fernie still on a lap time as well. So he's trying to find the drivers that are coming into the final sector.
Yeah, Dean Wasocki not yet got a lap time in and is only just coming down the pit lane, so with 5 minutes left on track. Holty up to P4, so that's a good lap from him, just ahead of his teammate by 0.3 of a second. Dean, Leon Fernie and Smithy not yet set the lap, as you saw Walshy there waiting at the exit of the pit lane. He's not going to be wanting to do that in the race. Lucas Roth and Shane in the pits. What then can Bryn do, as he's the man very, very wide, and you imagine it's reset, get a good exit from that final corner and go again. Bryn then powers down out the final corner. Any improvement, or did he lose too much touching the gravel there? I gotta say he's probably just so without a mistake he'd have been up. I reckon that he may have been close enough to Little Leach to maybe snatch pole or be a lot closer to him, because he lost a lot of time touching the gravel.
He did indeed a lot of time touching that gravel there. Little Leach exits the final corner as well. Can these guys break the record here of Arjun? Towards the line does Smith. He finds a couple of tenths here and there, but Little Leach improves his gap over Bryn, but this man is the man we need to keep an eye on. Pressure now is all coming down on his shoulders of a qualifying session, knowing he was fastest in the first practice session. Is he now going to crack under the pressure? He, with his lap time in the first session, would have put him on pole.
It would have put him on pole, and it would have put him on pole by a couple of attempts. Welshie then has had a moment. There is a car coming to the line. That is DJ Phil, who finds 3 tenths and goes up into 7th place. I believe it was Smithy then the next car, I do believe, was behind DJ Phil. He's coming to the line. He's in 8th, so it's not Smithy. He has put a lap time in. I didn't see anybody change there. We'll stay on board with this man. Stovestoff and Holty into the pits. It was Holty because he's gone a little bit quicker. Welshie to the line. Doesn't improve. Dean Wasocki needs to get a lap on the board. Still doesn't. So 2.5 minutes. Dean really needs to get a lap on this board now. There's a lot of gaggle of cars coming into that final corner. I believe Shane is the first one. It is Shane that's the first car. That is Leon Fernie up into 7th place out of DJ Phil. Shane to the line. Must have been an outlap. And Dean is once again back in the pit lane.
Bryn! He's gone
into a 28.5. He's 3 tenths quicker than Little Leach. What a stonking lap time. Absolutely on the pace at the minute. And this man might need to start sweating.
Little Leach, he takes a lot of chicane there. That's a lot of track limits through that chicane. You do not want to be hitting those pillars on the inside of the circuit. So if Little Leach improves on this lap time, it might be under review after he takes a lot of chicane there as he head into sector 2. He's actually down,
he's down.
So he will be clear. So it looks like an outlap to me.
Dean has one shot at this because he's just come out the pit lane. He's got one shot of a lap time here. Otherwise it will be P11 with no lap time in 10 minutes. DJ Phil to the line, currently down in 8th place. Welshie is done for qualifying, as is Bryn. DJ Phil improves, stays 8th. Smithy behind him, I think that was. That must have been Little Leach. He did not improve, so he will get one more shot at it. So Smithy done, Welshie done, Sloth done, Bryn done. Does he think that is pole position? How many poles does Bryn have actually this season?
I'm not actually sure, to be honest. I'll let that
None.
information go down
Bryn
to you.
doesn't even have a pole position.
So one of the Crash Bros could be in a chance of taking pole position here if Little H can stop him. Leon Fernie towards the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does. He goes P4. Shane now comes towards the line. He does not improve. He has got one more lap under his belt. Under
2 drivers at the last corner.
Shane.
He is under pressure. 2 drivers at the last corner. One of them, I reckon, is Dean Wasocki. Don't know who's behind him. This is an outlap. And that then is Holty behind him. Dean has 1 shot at this. Holty will have 1 more shot at this. Stays P5. DJ Phil and Little Each. And I tell you what, Little Each a bit close to DJ Phil. That could, maybe one mistake from Phil, ruin Little Each's lap. And this is the onboard view of Little Each at the moment. What a qualifying this is if you're a Super Crash Bros fan. Into the right-hander. Get it bang on. And look at Phil. He's just run that little bit wide. Stays on the grass. Returns to the pit lane very, very quickly. Phil's done in P8, Dan. So it's all down to this man. How will he exit these final 2 corners? Was very cautious on the power coming through the last couple. Qualifying complete. Misses. No. Manages to pull the apex back in. Little Each to the line. Needs just under 0.4 of a second to take pole away from Bryn. Doesn't do it, so Bryn at the minute still on provisional pole. It's all down to Shane in the background then, who is just behind Leon Fernie, but a bit far enough behind that if Leon has a moment, Shane could avoid it. Leon Fernie looking for a front row start, maybe looking to up his second row start. Currently P4, looking to improve that even further. Here comes Leon Fernie to the line, misses the apex by a mile. On the power now, though he goes. Can he improve here? Shane, the man to watch as well. No improvement. Leon Fernie. Shane! Nothing. No improvement. Dean Wasocki then. And Holty, the only 2 that can take pole position away from Bryn. Dean's not got a lap in 10 minutes. This is his last chance. P4, what a lap as Holty bails. Bryn will take his first ever pole position here at Simplay Motorsport.
Bryn taking his first ever pole position. Look at that. And it's all thanks to this circuit, for sure. Wow. And again, I think he'll be happy for that one, for sure.
I think Bryn will be over the moon, considering that last week his kitchen was on fire and had to miss race 2. I think Bryn will be a very, very happy man with that one. Dean Wasocki, great lap at the end there to make sure he got P4 away from his teammate. The Teletubby Motorsport boys down in 6th and 7th as it's Bryn from Little Each. Shane and Dean Wasocki share row 2. With row 3, Leon Fernie and Holty. Row 4, Lucas Roth and Woshi. Row 5, DJ Phil and Smithy. Row 6, Stove Sloth and the non-qualifying Ukbar. Bryn's first pole of the year. His average qualifying is P8.
One other thing I also want to remind people here of this circuit, if we take a chase view here, let's go on board with Little Each. Look how close the cars sit to one another. It is going to be Bryn on pole position. Running alongside him on row 1 will be Little Each and Shane. Those 3 Audis looking very, very strong here, with Dean Wasocki getting himself on the second row as well. Leon Fernie in P5 with Holty in P6. Lucas Roth, the man who's trying to go for the title, not a good qualifying for him. He's in 7th. Welshie in 8th with his son on the same row. DJ Phil in 9th with Smithy in 10th. 11th is Stelsoft, and bringing up the rear is the non-qualifying Ukbar. And Matt, this start could be chaotic with the way the grid sits.
Could be chaotic. It's so close, it's so tight, it's so congested, if that's the right word. Going into turn 1 as well, with it being that 90-degree left-hander, and if everybody's so close and tight as they are now, turn 1 could be an absolute nightmare. And you've got to be aware that if you're the trailing car, be cautious of braking later because of the drivers in front of you. Luckily in practice, I don't think we've had too many problems in practice at turn 1. But it's doing it on the night. That, though, is the Audi's 13th pole position in the Pro-Am, and its 22nd pole position overall. It now has more pole positions than the Ginetta and the McLaren by 2. And I know Dan won't like that because he's a bit of a McLaren lover after last season. But what a lap from Bryn there. Bryn and Shane in practice looked mighty strong. Little Each has split them.
He didn't quite break the record, but he was only 2/10 off the record of Argent in a Mercedes-Benz. So good stuff from Bryn, considering Argent now in the Pro as well.
Exactly. Audio Sport Pro Lap. Audio Sport in the chat. Top job, Bryn. Charlie Norcott, good luck. Congrats for pole, Bryn, says PM Motorsport. Pole out for who you think will win race 1 as the lights come on. 4 races left this season in the Pro-Am. It's green and go. And it's not a great start. DJ Phil has to move because it was a slow-moving Mercedes-Benz. Little Each and Bryn away pretty evenly. Dean's got a decent start but just didn't go anywhere because Little Each didn't move. Shane into turn 1 looking up the inside of his teammate and I think has the job done on Little Each. Didn't get the job done on Bryn though, so it's the Super Crash Bros 1-2. That is Holty and Smithy, elbows out. Ukbar's round at turn 1. A slow couple of Lamborghinis and DJ Phil as well. But it's the Super Crash Bros in the other Audi of the Pick and Mix Motorsport of Little Each who just give Shane a bit of a tap up the rear there, who are leading the way at the minute. Dean in close company, and the other Audi of Smithy in P5. It's an Audi festival at this rate.
It is indeed, and so far so good for the Super Crash Bros. They are on their way and leading 1-2. Little Each is still right behind them though and able to put a little bit of pressure. But who's going to be the top dog here? Is it going to be Bryn or is it going to be Shane? That is the question. Bryn obviously higher up in the championship in the minute. Will he want to be telling his driver to move out of the way? Smithy's had a very good start. He's up in the P6 and is putting pressure on the back of Holty as he goes through the chicane now. Lucas Roth, not the best start for him, nor was Welshie. Leon Funny, the biggest loser out of them all, drop into the back of the pack.
He was indeed. Stovsloff a bit off the pace, as is Ukbar at the moment, and towards the final end of the lap. Dean Wysocki doing very well to stay with Little Each here, has a bit of a wiggle, and like Dan said in practice, this Mercedes, you've got to wrestle this car around the track. So Dean at the minute doing bits so far. Bryn though out front just gapped his teammate by over a second here, and Shane maybe playing the rear guard for Bryn here to let Bryn escape and hold Little Each up, and this may just damper Little Each's title spirits if he is to win it tonight, because Bryn has absolutely checked out at this first lap. Shane as well, a magnificent job in this first lap, and everybody through into turn 1 as Dean gets a little hot on the heels, manages to keep hold of it, may though lose out to Holty up the inside as they're side by side, can't push each other wide there lads. Holty up the inside, Smithy now losing out to Lucas Roth, but Dean has a wiggle, losing, in fact he's not lost out, look, because he's side by side with Holty. He's going to look around the outside at turn 3, that is no good. Can he tuck underneath? Not just there, he can't, but he's going to try and fight Holty back into the triple, I believe you called it, Dan.
It is called the triple here, and Holty, the man with COVID, is a man possessed at the minute. He's up at the P4. Little Each, though, is reeled the top 2 back in. Little Each, the pro driver that's been in pro for the last 5 seasons, is now on the back of Bryn and Shane. You do have all the drivers on the grid. This is the man you do not want to be getting pressure from, because it is very difficult to keep ahead of Little Each, especially in this season.
Indeed it is, as Bryn extends that gap once again after the McDonald's chicane, and Smithy now trying to hunt down Dean Wysocki as Lucas Roth must have had a spin somewhere because he's dropped behind Welshie. This though, Ukbar, they're both ahead of Leon Fernie, who's dropped down to 11th place, and Ukbar in that Ginetta, now on the back of Stolsloff, may not have the overall speed down this back straight, but through the corners, this Ginetta is going to be an absolute machine. Misses his apex as he tries to brake as late as he dares, but Stolsloff went wide as well, may have just put him off a little bit. Bryn coming to the end of lap 3, once again has that gap over Shane to a second, so Bryn seems to maybe struggle sectors 1 and 2. Sector 3 he has got hooked up.
Those Audis are matching each other lap for lap. Bryn passes off them all, and he is currently extending his gap, and he looks like he's made a mistake through turn 1 ever so slightly because he's just losing a couple of tenths there, but Little Each is unable to put them under pressure.
Just can't do anything, can he, Little Each, at the moment? He's got that relaxed comfort now with Dean not behind him, but he can't put Shane or Bryn under pressure. Has Little Each made a mistake, actually? Because that gap's now 2 seconds to Bryn, so I wonder if he's had a bit of a moment coming through turn 3, because he's a bit further back now than what he'd like to be. Shane and Bryn, though, they have got this Audi hooked up here. The only difference between the 3 Audis out front, Dan, is this is the 24-hour endurance Audi, Little Each's is the normal race Audi. It means nothing.
Also to mention as well, race record already smashed by these two. Also, Little Each breaking the record as well. The record was a 29.9. These guys, 26, a 29.6 and a 29.7. These guys are already smashing the record. They have got this Audi hooked right up.
And this is the Bryn we saw at the first part of this season, Dan. Dominant, winning races, putting pressure on drivers. This is the Bryn we saw at the first part of the season, who's got his teammate right up his gearbox coming to the end of this lap. So did he make a mistake through the last part of the track? He's a bit wide at the final corner. Down the start straight he goes. Shane, he's led a few laps before. He's now going to put his teammate under a bit of pressure. Lads, do not take each other out here. You would not want to be that kind of teammate, as Shane brakes a lot later than Bryn. Bryn! Oh, he's made it stick! Round the outside! What a manoeuvre!
Shane, he's possibly on his way to possibly getting his first race win here at Simplay Motorsport, but Bryn's lost the rear. Bryn's lost the rear ever so slightly. That's going to give Little Leach a small opportunity here. Very small, and he's going to send it into the hairpin. But he's got too deep, and that's to give Bryn the inside. Little Leach will get the better drive, but Bryn's holding him up. Now it's Bryn's turn to be the armour for Shane here.
And look at Dean Wysocki coming under pressure from Smithy in the background. Holty, though, now, with that little mistake from Bryn and Little Leach, Holty right within them. Welsh Smithy putting Dean Wysocki under pressure. Oakball's cleared Stealth Sloth. They've got Leon Fernie trying to...
Smithy's round.
Oh, he is round, yeah. Unlucky. As Plover in the chat, Bryn! Bryn's gone! Oh, through the McDonald's hairpin. What a shame.
Shane's got it all to do now. He knows what he needs to do here. Lap 6, end of lap 6. The pit window opens up. So Shane leads the way. Little Leach now in second. Holty is up into third, and he's driving so well. For a man who's got COVID, he's doing so well at the minute and matching the leaders near enough. Not quite as fast as them, but he's within reach. Bryn now on a recovery run with Welshie breathing down his neck as well. So as one Audi disappears from Welshie, another one appears.
Yeah, it was Smithy that span in front of him last time, and now Bryn pops up in between him and Dean this time. Bryn just needs to relax, get back in that zone and get comfortable and hunt down Dean Wysocki then. As Charlie in the chat, do it, Mickey, because Michael on about, he'll have to buy a PlayStation. That'd be great to see the Bembridge brothers on the grid. And Plover, looks like no team orders for those two. Great move, by the way, he said on Shane, as Dean a little wiggle through turn 1, and Welshie as well on the exit of turn 1 into turn 2.
Yeah, well, she's just a little bit eager on the power there, but already Little Leach is now starting to eat his way into the leader of Shane. Shane right now just needs to focus on himself. Do not look in your mirrors. Do not look at that Audi of Little Leach hunting you down. It's very easy to do so, as Lucas Roth is actually off. Has he got wheel issues once again? I didn't even know there was a jump there as Keith just goes over that. That's
kind of unravelled his season, hasn't it? His wheel problems that seem to have affected him as Smithy loses out to DJ Phil. It's really unravelled Lucas.
Oh, he is. Back of DJ Phil.
Oh, right, apologies. It's really unravelled Lucas Roth's season because he was in the championship lead at one stage.
He was indeed, and Lucas Roth's final end of the season, that wheel has just not helped him whatsoever. Plus, he's probably frustrated that my team always seems to be giving the fuel to me and not to his F2 car as well. But Bryn there, Dean has a wiggle.
Yeah. Massive wiggle from Dean, held it well, and he's a bit slower than the front three out front at the moment. He's also a bit slower than this man, who, when he's got the lap tuck up, is really on it. Little Leach, 9 tenths to Shane at the moment, was a bit quicker last time around, though. A lot quicker last time around.
I think that's fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, I think so.
So he has got the bit between his teeth right now, Little Leach, and he's hunting down the leader.
He is hunting down the leader. Smithy hunting down the back of the Ginetta DJ Phil after a spin early on. Smithy pulls to the outside, and look at the Audi just pull alongside and disappear in front of DJ Phil before they even hit the brakes. He's in front of Phil. Phil's going to try and be brave on the brakes. He brakes a lot later than Smithy. Did he get it up the inside and stopped? Just about. Bounces off the sausage curb, and Smithy has to wait another day. They've got Ukbar patiently waiting in the background as well as he's trying to get on with this. But Little Leach, although he was a second quicker than Shane last lap, he's not brought that gap down from 9 tenths at the moment.
Oh, he's thereabouts. He keeps ebbing and flowing between a second and 5 tenths, and that's what this track does. 1 minute you're very close to someone, next minute you're nowhere near him. So Little Leach a little bit slower through that middle sector by those things. I think Shane seems to have better traction through the middle sector, as Phil, Ukbar and Smithy.
Ukbar's past Smithy.
He has indeed. As
we've lost Keeks. We've lost Keeks, so does the wheel problems carry on to hinder him here then? So we have lost Lucas Roth from this race, unfortunately for him.
Oh, look at Little Leach. He's so much stronger in the final sector here. Little Leach, whatever he's done to that car, is so strong in the final sector that he's able to just creep onto the back of Shane there. Shane, there are only 2 tenths separating them, and Holty, once again, it's just there. He's doing what he needs to do.
He is. He's just kind of hovering about in that good area. Dean at the minute P4 as DJ Phil across the grass. He's down to P10, and Stealth Sloth may now get past him for P11. Dean as well, sort of lapping in that 1 minute 30 zone last time around. Bryn has got past Dean though, and that he's done maybe on the brakes into turn 1. Welshie's had a moment at the exit to turn 1. He was behind them two, chasing them down. Bryn, who was half a second quicker than Dean last time round. Phil, first car into the pits.
Yeah, Phil is in, and this is going to be a very, very long pit lane for him. As look at the leaders, 3 tenths now separating the top 2 here. And with the conditions as they are, really hot conditions here, the hard tyre will even be screaming at this point, because there's a lot of corners and a lot of, especially in this sector here, there's a lot of right-hand corners here. You will be stressing the left-hand tyres a lot here, as Phil is the first man to pit.
Phil is the first man to pit, and 4 tenths of a second separate these two. What will Bryn do now over Holty? A bit quicker last time around. He's now got to try and hunt him down. Doesn't want to push too much, and as I say it, he is off. And has had a mistake. Is that the McDonald's chicane again? Yes, it is.
It is.
So Dean and Welshie through. Little each. Huge wiggle. Round. Round goes the championship leader. And there is Holty. Where is Dean Wysocki? I think a bit too far back. Yes, he is, as Little each goes on his merry way. And DJ Phil, it's been that long a pit stop. He's been lapped nearly.
He has been nearly lapped here, as Bryn now is about to be chased by Ugbar. Shane has got a 4.7 gap round now over Holty, and Holty is not able to match him at the minute, as there you see flying past is DJ Phil.
Yeah, so DJ Phil splitting both his Bryn. Looks like at the end of lap 7, he is going to come into the pit lane then and make his stop. A few spins, maybe a stop for him. So a long old pit lane here. It will all even itself out when everybody pits. This will see Bryn, though, come out into some clear air of some sort, depending on if Shane laps him. Shane has a 4.6 second gap, and Little Each, and you just wonder what it's done to his tyres having that spin. Like you said earlier, it eats the tyres here, and even the hards overheat because of the fact that you're always turning a corner. That could have really hurt Little Each's tyres, and he may need them to cool down a little bit.
The other problem that these guys have now is that DJ Phil, with his pit stop, has come out right in front of them. So Shane actually has a guard as such without even realising it. Holty, the highest Mercedes runner at the minute, the Teletubby Motorsport, is doing fantastic well at the minute, considering he has the dreaded vid on him at this minute. So Holty doing a fantastic job at this stage, being P2.
Good stop from Bryn's team. He's just came out the pit lane, so he's got clear track behind, clear track in front, and Shane has opted to box. At the end of lap 8, Bryn in and out, Shane in, and is he going to come out straight away like Bryn and have a good stop? Holty stays out. I think Little Each in the background, Dan. Yes, he is. Little Each then following Shane into the pit lane, so a battle of the pit crews here. Dean Wysocki will then take second place as Holty takes this race lead. Welshie will be up into third place as he doesn't opt to pit, and Ukbar has stayed ahead of Smithy, and now will need to get on it to pull away from Smithy. Do any of these drivers think of pitting? There is a driver, I believe that might be Ukbar, who is coming into the pits. It is Ukbar who's into the pit, so he also gets his pit stop done and out the way.
The interesting thing now, Matt, is it's obviously
Shane's
Shane's
away.
spinning out. He's already done his pit stop. Question is, where is he going to drop back on track? This is what I would need to know. As Smithy goes past, Leon Fernie goes past. So Shane is off the limiter now. He comes out of the pits. So he is now, once the times all catch up, and he's not dropped it, hopefully, out he comes. So the time's just adjusted, 27.4. So I reckon what Holty was 4 seconds ahead, so it's about a 32 second pit stop.
Yeah, Holty 4 seconds behind. I agree with you. I think it's a 30. Around about that. The dip. Another thing for Shane here, Dan, in his advantage. Look, Little Each behind Stealth Sloth coming out the pit lane. Shane ahead of Stealth Sloth. So Little Each has got to clear Stealth Sloth. He's already 9 seconds behind Shane. So Shane's had a good stop then, and he's on the back of Leon Fernie for position. Don't forget the back markers don't even have to come out of the way. Is Michael Bembridge in the chat? Come on, bro, he's saying they are all behind him for this first race win. And I tell you what, we love a new race winner, don't we? We absolutely love it. And we said last week, as Holty's into the pits at the end of lap 9, we said last week that Shane will win before the end of the season. Tonight's his best chance.
And I did also say that this circuit would be the circuit that the Audi would be the strongest. Dean Wysocki opted to do his classic Dean Wysocki decision and stay along. Welshie also into the pits as well. If we're right, Holty, if he has a decent pit stop, he'll be in and out, back on track, and he should be around 4 seconds behind Shane, but it's not the quickest stop here. Off he goes. Shane now exits the final corner, and Holty is only now just coming towards the end of the pit.
There goes Leon Fernie, there goes Shane. You see to the right-hand side of the screen, Shane back in the net lead of this race. He's right on the back of Leon Fernie as well. And as Holty's still got to negotiate turn one. The question is, as Smithy's just come out side by side with Leon Fernie, where's Little Leach to Holty? Because Little Leach was a couple of seconds behind Holty before Little Leach pitted. Little Leach still hasn't done stealth sloth yet. Smithy holding that inside line over Shane, battling for position. Leon Fernie and Shane and Smithy haven't pitted yet. Neither has stealth sloth. Holty out ahead of stealth sloth. 3 seconds that gap to Little Leach. Shane to Little Leach 8 seconds, but he's losing a bit of time here, sat behind these cars.
Right now, Shane needs to be patient. He really needs to be patient. He's got track position to the other guys. He knows the cars in front of him have to pit. So even though he's losing time, he has to be patient. He can't force anything. Smithy, also being Little Leach's teammate, he will be trying to hold Shane up as much as he possibly can within the rules and regulations, obviously. And stealth stop has been passed by Little Leach, so Little Leach is clear and free to try and hunt down Holty. But again,
Holty's got 4 seconds.
Shout out to Holty.
Yeah, fantastic. To say he's got the dreaded big COVID. Fantastic drive from him, and he's got the gap down Shane to 4 seconds. Shane will see him coming as Dean Wysocki carries on his way, has a spin. Leon Fernie, thankfully for Shane though, will pull into the pits at the end of lap 10, and that will mean Shane has only got Smithy to get past. Smithy though is Little Leach's rear. Going to Holty, a bit of a wiggle out the final corner you see in the background. Shane now patiently waiting against what we called last season the GOAT. Oh, and he just taps him up the rear. Smithy on and off the brakes, gets a bit of a tap from Shane, and Shane waits for him to come on, and away they go now. Question, what damage does that give Shane? Smithy on and off the brakes here though, Dan.
Yeah, a little bit. I think Smithy was just a little bit unsure, maybe locking up the fronts a little bit, but Shane did the right thing there. He hit the back of Smithy there and just kept it under control. Smithy went off track, but Shane waited and waited and waited. He'd lost 3 seconds that lap just to allow Smithy to get back on track. I have noted it, but I'm pretty sure it should be all right.
Yeah, I reckon that one's pretty safe. So, Dean, Stealth, Smithy, not yet pitted. Smithy round then. Does he get on before Holty? He does. So now, no, he doesn't. So Smithy can't rejoin before Holty. He's now ahead of his teammate Little Leach. The question is, what damage does Shane have? That is Leon Fernie getting up the inside of Ukbar, and that is for P8 as Bryn trying to get past these two as well. And Ukbar wide. Bryn, thank you very much, Ukbar. I'll have that inside line.
Yeah, he looked like he had a wiggle on exit though. He really seemed to struggle to get going there. And Ukbar is now stuck behind Bryn, and Ukbar's race is just going from bad to worse at this minute. As Smithy now ahead of his teammate, who's not too far behind Holty right now.
Will Smithy come into the pits this lap? He has done. So Smithy is coming into the box, and probably rightly so. He's had a tap from Shane and a bit of a spin on his own, and he comes into the box. I think Stealth Sloth as well is in, which means Dean Wysocki, the only man not yet to pit, and he's doing that Dean Wysocki tactic again, Dan, and we reckon about 27 seconds. That's going to put him P4, which is where he was after Bryn's spin.
I reckon it's 32 seconds.
Either way,
he's be behind Little Leach.
Yeah, he'll be P4, won't he? Shane first, Holty second, Little Leach third, Dean fourth. Because the next car is Leon Fernie at 53 seconds.
He can't hesitate. He will be 5 seconds ahead of Welshie at this stage. If he makes another mistake, Welshie will jump in.
Yeah, and this is something Dean's done all season. I think it's something that Dean's got to learn of when to box and when to react to other drivers. And he's not doing it at the minute. Shane, just a little slower than Holty on that last time around, as Ukbar is behind Leon Fernie, and I think that was Bryn. So Bryn's got past Leon Fernie as well, and Bryn now gets past Smithy in the pit lane. So Bryn back up to 6th after a few spins early on.
Holty's brought the gap down to Shane by quite a dramatic amount as well, as Leon Fernie has just disconnected.
Disconnected, yeah. So that could be a quali ban next week for him, and well, he'll want to prove that one, Dan, because at the minute that will be another 25 points deducted from his championship.
Yeah, and also to the constructors as well, and Dean will not be too happy about that one for sure, after Dean's been trying to score as many points as possible this season, and Holty and Little Leach now starting to bring the gap down to Shane. Shane had a poor lap at 33, Holty comes around to 31, and Little Leach still in the 29s. More importantly, Smithy now is also looking to make a move on Ukbar on track.
I think Shane might have some front-end aero damage, Dan, and maybe getting affected from that after the shunt on the back of Smithy.
Or possibly so. It's a difficult second to overtake. So it's actually Little Leach has passed Holty in turn 1. So Little Leach has already dispatched a Mercedes-Benz. Now, can he hunt down Shane? It's a long 10 laps here. And what damage has Shane got to the front of the car? That is the question.
Yeah, what damage does he have? And can he manage it? Can he defend from Little Leach as well? We saw Little Leach earlier pushing and pushing and pushing. Did he speed in the pits and get DQ'd, says PN Motorsport in the chat. Not quite sure who you're on about there, PN. But either way, maybe so, but he'd already made his pit stop, so I'm not too sure. Oh, Smithy!
Just touching the curb there. That curb is lethal. It's like a solid piece of rock or something there, and it just bounces the car over the place. Once again, that comment I was making about Welshie, he's starting to bring the gap to Dean, and Dean's tactic isn't working at the minute. He's not extending the gap.
It's not working at all.
Classic Dean Wasaki.
Wipers on, yeah. Wipers on. And it wouldn't be a Dean Wasaki race without his wipers going at the minute, as Ukpal has Smithy on the back of him after Smithy had a little moment early on. So Dean from Shane, from Little Leach from Holty, and Shane down in the 31s once again here, Dan. Little Leach only in the 30s, Holty in the 32, so is Holty just starting to struggle a little bit. But at the minute, Shane losing time to Little Leach. But only 0.8 of a second. That's going to take Little Leach a bit more time than he'd want to get ahead of Shane. Smithy, though, on the back of Ukbar here. A fantastic battle. 27 people watching, 12 likes. Let's get as many likes on this stream as possible. At least 20, especially if Shane can win his first race. But he's got a 2-time Constructors winner hunting him down.
Current grid at the minute on lap 14 as Dean Wasaki leading the way. The only man still yet to pit, and P2 is currently Shane, hopefully trying to go to his first race win here at Simplay Motorsport, but he's got the pressure of the 2-time Constructor champ of Little Leach in P3. P4 is Holty, who's just made a mistake, and he's just got back going again, so he'll regain that P4 position. Quite a way back now is Welshie in P5, but P6 is Bryn after taking his first pole position here at Simplay Motorsport. Has not been the start for him to the night, as Ukbar is in P7 and trying to stay ahead of Smithy, who's putting him under massive pressure. Stealth Soft currently in 9th, and he's got a fight with DJ Phil. And your current retirements at the minute is Leon Fernie and Lucas Roth as well. But how long does Dean go with his strategy? Welshie just needs to pump in decent lap times, but actually Welshie's lost some time here. He's 43, 44 seconds behind, so as he had a moment like Holty and gone round.
Lost a lot of time to Dean Wasaki there, hasn't he? So very interesting to see. 1.5 seconds though separate these two. And this for the net lead of the race, really, Dan. And we start lap 15 for these two boys now with Smithy up the inside of Ukbar. And that's a good move from Smithy there. No.
That's not an overtaking opportunity there. So Smithy done a very good job of overtaking there. And on his way now to try and hunt down Bryn if he possibly can.
I was honestly going to give a shout out to Ukbar coming through the pack in this race tonight. And he just hasn't, has he?
No, he hasn't. He's just not been able to attack the car as much as he probably wants to. Probably too much suspension movement in the Ginetta. It's a little lead too steep a little bit, but he can recover. He will get a good exit out of the corner, and Shane, as I can see there, Shane runs wide. Little Leach gets a better drive, and actually Little Leach gains out of that.
Yeah, he does gain, and I think Shane does have some front damage to that car because he is struggling. Another man struggling there. Look, DJ Phil is trying to hunt down the back of Stealth Sloth. And I thought these Ginettas would come through the field, and they just haven't in this race. Dean, though, towards the middle sector, to end the middle sector, should I say, and on his way to start lap 16. Will he pit this lap? That's the biggest question, as Shane now really starting to come under some pressure from Little Leach.
He is indeed, but I think the problem is Little Leach, the closer he gets to the back of Shane, the more he'll get affected by the dirty air.
Yeah.
Dean's had a moment. He's been very slow here. He's done. He's got 11 seconds, but he did have 18 seconds to the guys behind him. So across the line, he does a 38 seconds. So yeah, he's had a big moment somewhere.
If he's had a moment this lap, why has he not brought it into the pits? There's Mao Damo in the chat. Evening to you, buddy. Nice to see you here again this week. Lap 16, Dean Wasaki has started. Smithy still ahead of Ukbar and pulling a little bit of a gap. But this for the net race lead here, as Little Leach gains 0.9 of a second on that last lap to Shane. Shane's car maybe just getting worse and worse with that damage as the race goes on, and just has to hang on over Little Leach. Little Leach just so much more confidence through 1 and 2.
The thing though is that Shane has got a track advantage. He is the lead car, and it is very difficult to overtake it. You really do need to have a leg up on the car in front, especially, probably the best overtaking opportunity is the dreaded turn 1. But right now, Little Each has to play this smart. The years of experience under him here at Simply Motorsport, he will know exactly how to handle this situation.
And Shane started this season and he's off! He's off at the triple! And for Shane, you have to feel so sorry for him, because he's not put a foot wrong until that moment, and this man has the net lead of this race. And I was just about to say he joined at Circuit of the Americas early on in the season, and now he's down in third.
This is something he will learn over the years. He will learn to deal with the pressure. But I tell you what, Shane has put on a fantastic show, but it's still not over. We're here at Oschersleben, the home circuit for the Audi, and it can still make a mistake here. Little Leach can touch the grass. We've seen him do it before earlier on in the race. Anything can still happen. The race is not over as Bryn's gone round now.
He is round. Was there another car near him there? It was Welshie, so I wonder if there's contact made, or was that just Bryn losing it on his own? I don't know, you know. Has Welshie just made contact with Bryn then?
Well, he's given the position back.
Yeah, so
either way, whatever would have happened, it would be cleared now because he's given the position back to Bryn.
I tell you what, Bryn flying then in this second half of the race. Really closed in on Welshie. That has really helped Dean, who is still not pitted yet, by the way.
He still hasn't pitted. No, he's going to go as long as he possibly can, which will benefit him and just keep him P4 at this rate. But you say Bryn's going fast at the minute. He keeps making mistakes, though. He keeps touching grasses and curbs, and he just keeps making slight mistakes here and there. So Bryn just needs to keep it together. Welshie does the same. There, just goes wide. These two have not left each other alone all race.
No, these two are having a cracking battle, and it don't matter whether it's for 10th or 9th or 1st and 2nd. These two battling hard, and Dan 12 started this race, let's not forget, so the top 6 cannot qualify for race 2, which means only 4 drivers will be able to qualify in race 2. And Dean hoping that he can get a good enough pit stop to come in and out ahead of Holty as Welchie now on the back of Bryn once again. Little each some 4 seconds quicker than Shane on the last lap, as Dean now I believe has peeled off into the pit lane. Yes, he has, looking at a red dot, and in he comes.
He does indeed. More likely we go back to Welshie and Bryn there as they now head to the triple now. Dean is in the pairs. He's going to lose out to Little Leach,
Bryn,
Shane and Holty. And I think Bryn, with a big wiggle, manages to hang together as now everyone's managed to pit under the corrected window.
Indeed they have, and Bryn just touched the grass a little bit there, so there goes Little Each, there goes Shane. Dean Wysocki not yet on his way out the pits. Here comes Holty, he's gone past him. These two are just a bit too far behind, but Dean has been stationary for quite the while here, Dan. He's turned his wipers off. What's he doing?
Well, he's obviously he's had his hammer time, and he doesn't need to turn them on no more, does he?
Yeah, that is true. Bryn and Bryn! Oh! Big wiggle through the chicane. And he'll be P6. He can't qualify for race 2, but he even interfered his mum. So I was reading the message as I was commentating it. But Bryn will not be able to qualify, but it's points lost again, and he'll have to catch to the back of Welshie once more. Dean out the pits, and 27 seconds behind Little Each. Yeah, Dan, I think you're right. About a 32 to 35 second pit stop here.
Yeah, it is around that. So right now, DJ Phil is looking to make a move on Stealth Sloth here. So now he's
These two have passed Ugbar.
They have passed Ugbar. I think Ugbar's made a mistake somewhere. So Ugbar at the back of the pack. But a reminder, 12 started this race, so top 6 will not be able to qualify. And at this rate, it is literally Shane, Holty, Dean, Welshie, and Bryn. All of those guys will not be able to qualify for race 2. As DJ Phil's still trying to find a way.
Oh!
He hits the back of Stealth Sloth there.
Yeah, a little naughty there, little come off the brakes. PN Bryn is pushing too hard, he says in the chat, and I do get that feeling that he is just maybe overdriving the car to get this place. I wonder if another thing is if he's had a couple of moments, how are them tyres? Because like you said, Dan, go off.
They do tend to heat up and burn away a little bit. But saying that, Little Each crossing the line, he's the only man in the 29s at this minute. But Shane's starting to pick up his pace a little bit. He's in the 30s again. So the top 2, really, the only ones in good pace. Holty also just lingering around there as well. So the tyres are coming back. They might be doing a Barcelona a couple of days ago.
Bit of a heat cycle. Yeah, I believe so. A bit of a heat cycle of season 3 at Catalonia, and the tyres came back to you. And I wonder if you're right, Dan. I wonder if that's the question here, because time started to drop a little bit, and time started to come down, even into Fury's granddad as well.
Evening to all the Fury Massey in the chat, other than Fury's girlfriend, who you will see in the chat hopefully tomorrow night, as Fury will be hitting the circuit, as the Mercedes boys will be as the Mercedes boys in Pro will be tackling in this circuit, but my eyes will be on the Audis and the Lamborghinis tomorrow night. Kent Biggs, Argent, Overtaker, Imagai, or any of the other drivers try and get some good points here at Oschersleben. As the final round of the season, we ended up with 4 circuits towards the end of the season, but were very, very different. We ended things off at Brno, which was a chassis circuit. We went to Daytona, power circuit. We're here at Oschersleben, once again, a chassis circuit. And then we finish the season off where the home of speed is. We go to Italy, where Peaceful and Monkey Boy will represent in Italy in their Ferraris as we head to Monza, which will also be Peaceful's 150th race.
Yes, it will be. Speaking of 150th races, Dan, we've got a little mention in race 2, as I forgot to mention it was Holty's 50th race in race 2 last week, so well done to him. Race 2 will mark Welch's 150th race, and what an achievement for the Scotsman in this here, Upbar and Stealth. And Phil's got through. So
Phil was already through on their
was he?
Too, I believe he was.
Yes, just looking back on the stream now, Stealth, yeah, Phil had already got past Stealth just before this corner. You just cut away before that corner happened. So I wonder what happened there then, as Stealth, I think, has had another moment, and Upbar, no, he hasn't. Carries on going. It sounded like he'd lost the rear of the car. Shane, again, lapping in that lower 30s, as is Holty, as is Little Each once again. So all lapping around the similar pace. Bryn, 31.6 to Welsh's 32.9. Coming back at Welshie, but lap 20 of 23 for the lead drivers. The leader is actually Little Each. He's on the back of this Upbar Stealth battle. So that could help Shane a little bit if them two start to have a ding-dong and Little Each gets caught out in the middle of it.
Shane seems to have lost a lot of time here. I don't know what it is.
I think he's got damage, yeah.
Yeah, that front end damage, probably a little bit of a downforce, probably just struggling in the straight lines, possibly. As Little Each crosses the line, he's 9/10 off his best. As Shane comes towards the line, what's he off? He's probably off quite a bit. He's 3.6. He's had a moment somewhere.
Yeah, he's had a moment this lap. Got to be careful because Holty's within a couple of seconds of him now. As Ukbar!
He's hit the wall, and that's going to just scare Little Each ever so slightly, but he's obviously managed to clear them. As I just hear another car sounding like it was off.
Yeah, I agree with you. It sounded like an Audi as well, but it doesn't look to be at the moment. As Holty lost a bit of time last lap as well to Little Each, and Dean lapping similar. Dean's been a bit off the pace here compared to the leaders, but he's done some good 31s when he's not made mistakes. So even though he's just that bit off the pace, he's sort of the best of the rest, if you will, tonight.
Yeah, I think, he has.
Bar Bryn, Dean's kind of around that fifth or sixth mark with Welchie.
Yeah, I would say so. Bryn obviously not having the best start to this race as DJ Phil goes right on the graph. Just looking at fuel, and Shane, 8.6. He should make it to the end as Ukbar's just in his way and he just clears him. So easy as you like there for Shane, but he's quite low on fuel, but I think he should be okay. Holty also 8.8. Everyone else is around 15.8. Leader 12.9. He's now behind the back of Stealth Sloth. Can he clear him? And Stealth Sloth does the correct thing and moves right out the way. Obviously, he doesn't have to. It's his choice.
Yeah.
It's a reason to do so, but he does get out of the way. But he's back on the power. Look at that Lamborghini come back.
Look at it come back out a little each. I reckon Stealth Sloth got off of it a bit there as Ukbar is into the pits once again, and that is a race for Ukbar that he's not going to want to see. Sorry, he'll be glad to see the back off. 7.6 litres in the tank, 8.1 for Holty. See, right, these two a little low on fuel here, Dan, with 2 laps to go, and I tell you what, Dean Wasocki could be in a decent position here.
I think they should be okay.
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay.
They'll be pretty dry when they come to the checkered flag, though.
Yeah, it's a good thing they don't have to give a fuel sample, or else they will both be heading to the stewards' room. But right now, Ukbar in the pits, and he's in there for a while. So, Little Each, though, on his penultimate lap, on the penultimate round of the season. And is he about to wrap up this title here this evening? So the question by PN Motorsport, pit confirm, copy, and Ukbar has done it for me. So pit confirm.
Can Little Each win the championship tonight? And 8.7 seconds clear of Shane at the moment. That increases to 9 now. Shane's just gapped Holty a little bit. That's gone up to 6 seconds, or it's kind of changing from 6 seconds. 4.1 is the gap. Yeah, I think he has as well, because he was a bit slower last time round, but this time he just looks like he's further back. If he keeps having moments, you know, this man could be ready to pounce. Half a second quicker last time around. Welshie has Bryn 4.8 behind, and they're pretty much at the beginning of their lap. So Welshie wants to make sure he stays clean here, because Bryn will be on the back of him. Smithy, he's 2.7 clear of DJ Phil at the minute, and that you saw in the background was Little Each going into turn 1. And Little Each then a lap ahead of Ukbar, or a couple of laps ahead of Ukbar, on his way to winning this race. And will that give him the championship? I don't think so, but it might have to wait till race 2 for Little Each to become the champion then, as he's had a fantastic race. Only for Shane to make one mistake and kind of open that door for Little Each, if you will. But he's had a great season, Dan, and a worthy champion nonetheless. If it's not to happen tonight, it will more than likely be next week. A worthy champion nonetheless.
Who's his championship rival? It's Lucas Roth.
James Grill and Lucas Roth, and both not scoring.
So pretty much Little Each has just got to finish this season as well. She's had a moment. He's had a big moment, actually, and that's allowed Bryn through. So more points to Super Crash Bros there. And I think it's then Bryn, his next closest rival. Was it Ukbar?
For Welshie, I think Bryn's behind and Ukbar's in front.
No, Ukbar, for Little Each.
Oh, for Little Each. Well, that's it, because Holty is 4th and can't win the championship. So, yeah, so it is just James Grill and Lucas Roth that can try and win the championship and do the job for them.
Here he comes.
Around the final corner then, and for the first time tonight, Little Each, it's another win this season. It's a great win here at Osch A. He'll be chuffed to bits with that. A man who's going to make it 3 podiums in a row and back-to-back second places is Shane, who could have maybe took the top step of the podium had it not been for for that one little mistake which cost him in this race. Ukbar's crossed the line in 10th, and Holty will finish with COVID P3. Dean was shocking to say that he pitted long and he did his old strategy, and it doesn't normally play out for him. It's not done so bad here. He's going to come home for a P4, which is a decent result for Dean, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely so. Dean will be, I would say, somewhat happy with that one. The good points there. He's flashing lights, so he should be happy with that one. He does beat Bryn, the other Rowdy, who was on pole positions here. To be fair, Holty and Dean have done very well in the Mercedes-Benz here this evening, as Bryn has managed to jump Welshie just at the end, and we still got a fight going on as Smithy and DJ Phil were close, so they're close towards the end, but Bryn is going to come home. The pole man here, not going to be happy with race 1. He will have to not qualify for the next race, though. He'll come home in P5. And Welshie also just in that window of not being able to qualify for the next race. So he's got a little bit of damage to the front end of that Lamborghini. So
yeah, I wonder if he hit the wall when he had his spin earlier. DJ Phil in the gravel, and that is pretty much put to bed, unless Smithy spins here. The battle between him and Smithy, but Smithy will come across the line for AP7, and DJ Phil Green will cross the line for a P8 there then. So not great points for Terminal Velocity Racing. Fastest lap of the race actually goes the way of Shane by 1,000th of a second. Shane takes the fastest lap. What a job then from him. I didn't see Shane. Do you see Shane do a 29.5? What a job. Bryn not far off the back neither with a 29.6. Them 3 are the cut above the rest. They've just got to get rid of their mistakes. Ready for race 2, which will be around the corner in 5 minutes time. It will be Welshie's 150th. He can't qualify for it. The only qualifiers will be Smithy, DJ Phil, Stealth Ukbar, Leon Fernie and Lucas Roth. If we get them back, we'll be back in just a moment. I'm alright. Oh man, Shane, I kind of really wanted you to win that, for sake.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Assault range had fans.
Right, let's add these fuckers in it. I doubt we'll heal from Holty though, will we? If he's feeling well.
Probably not, which I can't really blame him.
So who do we need?
Bryn and Shane there have jumped Terminal Velocity Racing and MC Motorsport and are right on the cusp of being eliminated from the Constructors' Championship battle.
Can Little Each win this round?
Little Each has... If Lucas Roth doesn't come back, Little Each has won the title. So we won't say anything until the next race.
Wait, so if Lucas Roth don't turn up, he wins.
If Lucas Roth comes back and outscores Little Each by 25 points, which is still technically doable, Little Each would win the title unless James Grill can come back and outscore Little Each by 18 points, but I think he misses race 2 as well. So
basically, what Little Each needs to do is win.
Is just basically score 2 points. Sorry, no, score 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Score 9 points, and he's won the championship.
Oh, he's just got to score 9.
Because if James Grill turned up, Little Each has to outscore him by 9.
Yeah.
So 9 points Little Each needs to win the championship is what we'll say. Right, let's pop in for a week.
Yeah, same. I wasn't expecting to hear from you this evening. Can hear you, mate. What yours is? Yeah, so hang on. Let's go to the party settings. Oh, no, that's other parties. I don't want other parties. Ah! There should be one that says allow voice to be heard or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so it says allow your voice to be shared.
Yeah, right.
That should be on always allow.
Yeah, I've just done that now.
Ideal. We should be able to hear you now.
Oh, sound, cheers.
No worries. How you feeling, bud?
Oh, struggling. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm up here. I was expecting just a tootle around the back, to be honest. My head is banging. I've got sweat all in my eyes. I kept like wiping it down the straights, and eyes are stinging. But I just started backing off towards it, and I thought third place, and I'm happy being up here.
Yeah. No, I know what it's like having COVID and racing, man. It's fucking hard work.
Yeah.
But I did actually, when you messaged me, I did then send a message to the admin team saying that if you had retired,
yeah,
and due to obviously you being ill, then obviously we wouldn't have given you a qualifying ban for the next race, due to obviously you struggling with COVID. But if you do end up in an incident, then it would have to be reviewed.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I said to them, if he's unable to finish the race, then we'll miss the next round for a qualifying ban just due to the way you're feeling.
Yeah, no, cheers, Dan.
That's all right. If you can't make it to the end, then that's great. But as soon as you're done, mate, just get off of here and go and relax. I've done a race. I've done a race with COVID, and it fucking kills you after. It really kills you.
Well, I'm honestly, I'm just sat here in my boxes, and I've got 2 fans on me, doors open. Oh, it's awful, but I thought there's only this round and one more left, so I wasn't going to quit.
Nah, that's good effort, mate. Good effort, and considering you got P3 as well. So.
Yeah, it's good result. I didn't really expect me to be up on podium.
Nice. Right. Was that you back, Matthew?
Yes.
No, it's me.
Right.
No, Matt's back too.
I'm going for a piss. I'll be right back.
Hurry up. Craig's got Love Island to watch.
More importantly, Shane's not in here yet, so you might want to drop him a message.
Yes.
I'll be 2 minutes. I'll zip to the toilet.
Yeah, no worries, bud. I'm not telling you what you need to do, by the way, Craig. You'll have to wait. You'll have to wait for stream to start.
Okay, you coming back in race 2?
No, his wheel is fucked apparently. Keeps loading pause screen.
I've got to come top 6 then, really.
Oh, you'll find out what you need to do in a minute. Steady on.
I take it a bit easy.
No, actually, a bit harder than what. Oh no, top 6. No, yeah, you're about right actually. Top 7 you need basically.
Oh, that's not bad.
But that's if JM Grill and Lucas Roth come in. If they don't come in, then you've done it. So.
I'm back now, lads.
Dan, you back as well? No.
No. Back a shot in here, boy.
Fucking tell me about it.
Are they all back in, or are we missing Keegs?
We are missing Keegs. It's his wheel. He's going to strip it tomorrow.
Right.
Shane says he's not going to bother with the interview. He's gone out for a fag because he's a bit disappointed with himself.
Fuck's sake, Little Leach, look what you've done.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Why do you have to win every fucking
To
race?
be fair, I nearly sat behind him, but I thought, well, he made a mistake. I probably wouldn't have pushed too hard because I just want points, but he made a mistake, so I thought, fuck it.
I think he had damage after he hit Smithy.
Yeah.
Is that it? Have you won championship now, Little Leach?
Not sure, mate.
Kind of. Kind of. Depends how generous I feel and if I feel like penalising. Oh, I can't penalise him, it's Dan.
Fuck you now.
He deserves a penalty though, Dan, for watching fucking Love Island. Come on.
Well, Little Leach has to confirm my partnership with him for next season, that's the thing.
Oh. I nearly got dropped by the brother last week. And then he went, oh, but what happens if we were constructors?
What for? Do you want to give up, do you?
I don't
He
know.
don't like the Merc, does he?
I mean, I'm not driving the Merc next season anyway. Welcome back then, Simplay Motorsport here for the third from last round, round 21 of the season. God, I don't know where I was going there. Round 21 of the season. No, round 22 of the season. We're at round 22 of the season. It's Welsh's 150th. It could be the day that Little Leach becomes a drivers' champion and without Gary 131 by his side to win a championship. But he's got the GOAT with him. In this one, and we'll get to Little Leach in just a moment. He needs 9 points, so 7th or higher, and he will win the Drivers' Championship for Pro-Am this season. JM Grill, second place, 99 off the back. Lucas Roth in 30 to 106 off the back. Holty in 4th place and getting closer to Lucas Roth. Welshie into P5 now above Ukbar. He's on 206 points. He's 8 ahead of Ukbar. And Bryn is 3 behind Ukbar on 195. Dean Wasocki on 184. Shane has gone from P12 to... he's gone from P11 to P9. He's jumped DJ Phil and he's jumped Smithy. And he's on 156 points. He's a bit too far behind Dean. It's doable, but it's going to take a lot of work. Smithy on 148. He's 5 ahead of DJ Phil. Stealth Sloth's on 137. That Bozzy Boy on 121. And Leon Fernie on 12. Unless he can provide evidence of his retirement in race 1, he will be back to negative points. Constructors' Championship looks like this. Pick and Mix Motorsport 492, 42 points clear of Teletubby Motorsport with 141 points left. That is still not over and done with yet. My Mate Racing 126 behind, but none of their drivers are here tonight, so that could be done and dusted. Super Crash Bros are just on the limit of 141 points behind the Constructors' leader, so technically can still win it, but we'll need Smithy, Little Leach to not turn up for the next 3 races to do that. MC Motorsport can't win it. They're ahead though of Terminal Velocity Racing and getting quicker. My Mate bringing up the rear. And we have to start with Holty, who is battling COVID tonight, and that was a mega performance.
Yeah, I was shocked to be 3rd place, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm struggling, got a banging headache, just dripping with sweat.
P3 though, very good. You had good pace at times, just had the odd mistake every now and again. Obviously that could be the illness sort of playing its effect, but you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm over the moon with that P3. Obviously, it's more points for us for the constructors, so it can still go down to the wire. Hoping Keegs will be here for the last rounds. But yeah, I'm looking at that third place. I expect it to be miles off the pace. But yeah, and overall, really happy.
Well in front of Dean Wysocki. You do, though, start towards the back of the pack in this second race, though. What can you do from there?
Just staying out of trouble. Hopefully I'll be able to get to the end of the race.
Well, wish you the best of luck, buddy. We'll let you get back to it and get some rest before you take to the track.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, buddy. As we have got Little Leach in. Shane just stepped outside for a moment after making that one mistake. Craig, it went your way, which really has kind of opened the door for this championship.
Yeah, I was happy with that. I feel sorry for Shane, to be fair, because keeping me honest, I would have stuck behind him, but he made a mistake, so I just took my chance and kept going.
Like you say, he made that one mistake, you got through. Your pacer was very similar to Shane all race. Had he not got a bit of damage at the end, it was a very sort of ebbing and flowing battle.
Yeah, it would have been really good. It would have been good fun. I feel sorry for him getting a bit of damage, but just racing, I suppose.
Apologies, just messaging Bryn here. Right, Bryn's qualifying and he shouldn't. Right, yeah, so you've won. Sorry, I'm all over the place now because Bryn's qualifying. Right, 9 points you need for the championship, though, Lil Each. JM Grill and Lucas Roth not here for the second one. 7th or higher. Relatively simple, you'd say.
Would like to think so, but starting at the back of the grid, got to work my way through without any mistakes and see what happens, I suppose.
Indeed, it can. Race 2, though, you start P9. It might be a little higher when Bryn comes back in. What can you do from there?
Hopefully pick him off, and maps are not that strong. The Audi's strong around here, so hopefully I'll get top 3.
Love Island on tonight?
Absolutely, straight after.
No, we wouldn't want to keep you for that one, buddy. Congratulations on the race win, and we'll see you a little later on.
Cheers.
So then, Dan, I've just read that I did say a typo to Bryn that said you can qualify, not can't. So that is my bad. He has left the lobby and come back in, so that will negate his lap time. And it's currently this man on provisional pole. I know, what a rookie mistake. It's currently this man on provisional pole. One thing I need to do is Bryn's not had a pole position, I do believe. Where is Bryn? No, he's not had a pole position this season. He has before, which puts him on to 2. Yeah, so I need to sort that one. I'll sort that in a moment. But Welsh's 150th appearance this week. It'll be Little Leach's next week. That, though, is Little Leach's 10th win here at Simplay Motorsport. He's had 7 of the wins this season. Having a good season, though, Dan Inty, and like we said earlier on, really deserves to be the champion this year.
Yeah, and just a reminder though, just so Sutty doesn't feel like I'm just bullying Matthew, but those 7 race wins do not count, obviously, because they're in Pro-Am, just so that Sutty feels a little bit better about that one. But
I mean, that makes me feel better.
Nonetheless, it has been Little Leach's season, and he can finally sit there and go, I can earn my way back up into Pro. And will he partner with his brother back once again, or decide to go the different way? Could we have the Leachy Legends or the Leach Motorsport boys going separate ways as DJ Phil goes up in the P4 and now Ukbar currently up on his lap time? And if he nails the final sector, he should be able to go quicker than Leon Fernie.
He should be able to go quicker than Leon Fernie, who's back in the pits with 3 minutes remaining. Leon Fernie from Ukbar, from Smithy, from Phil, from Stealth Sloth. That is your qualifying order. The bottom boys can't qualify. Bryn will start P6 and Walsh will start P7. Dean right at the back of the pack, and that's possibly not the worst place to be on these reverse grid qualifying sessions. As we come into this one then, Ukbar does go provisional pole, and what will that do for the Ginetta? Will that put the Ginetta ahead of the McLaren? It would put the Ginetta ahead of the McLaren on pole positions.
Oh well, no, not another one passing the McLaren.
The Audi has passed the McLaren on race wins as well. Just to let you know. It's tumbling down the list. To be honest, I'm glad I'm not in that car no more, to be honest. Around this circuit, I don't actually think the McLaren would be that good. It's got too much understeer, so it would just end up going off everywhere. But what car can we get back up there next season? The Cora?
Nah, the Cora's had its day. No one wants to try that.
The Bentley, the BMW's had 4, the Ferrari and the Nissan GTR, the Cadillac and the Aston Martin have never actually won a race. The Bentley, the Mercedes SLS, the Nissan GTR, the Aston Martin and the Cadillac have never got a pole position.
So what's not got a race win?
Bentley, Z4, Ferrari, and Nissan GTR, Aston Martin and the Cadillac.
Ferrari hasn't got a win.
Ferrari has never won a race. But the Z4 and the Ferrari have 2 pole positions between them. The SLS, the GTR, the Bentley, the Aston Martin and the Cadillac do not have a race win. So is that a challenge for you, Dan, to get one of them cars to have its first race win?
Well, that could be a challenge indeed, but will I do it? Probably not.
Yeah. As Oakbar comes to the line, no improvement there.
Really
1 minute 44 left.
I'm really confused. It's just the Ginettas out on track.
Yeah.
Leon, Fanny, Smithy and Stel Sloth all just bailed back into the pits.
Yeah, they're just chilling. It's just a Ginetta track day at the moment for who will be pole position, and I feel that Oakbar's got the job done. 1.3 seconds clear of Phil.
Well, we don't know if Phil can put in an absolute stronger of a lap time.
True.
Probably a reminder of when did he put it on pole at Monza in the wet?
He won both races in the wet as well.
Yeah, see, when DJ Phil can do it, he can do it. But Dan, do it in the Ferrari. No, I'm good, thanks. I don't like the Ferrari whatsoever.
Right, let's talk about tomorrow night, seeing as Jamie Brazier's made that comment. You and Jamie will be in the commentary box tomorrow night, 8 p.m. BST for the Pro. What are you expecting from tomorrow night's race, Dan? Give us like a little insight to what you're expecting tomorrow night. What's going to happen? Who's going to do what you think?
I'm expecting a 2, possibly 3-page review on my notebook, possibly. I honestly don't know. Most of the grid is Mercedes. I'm hoping the Ferrari should be strong around here. I've seen Peaceful going round, and he should be up there. So
Looks good.
Looking strong.
Yeah.
Lamborghinis, I think, are going to struggle with Sutty and KLF. Not really their type of circuit, but the Audi should be strong. I haven't seen Biggs out on track yet, so Biggs could be a man to keep an eye out as well. As still just pumping in lap times.
Yeah.
But the Mercedes boys, I reckon it's all about who cannot trip over one another. I know for a fact Gary dislikes this track massively, as does yourself.
Yep.
Overtaker, on the other hand, I'm not sure if Overtaker is going to be strong here. I really don't know.
Well, he needs to obviously make up for what he lost last week. 21 behind, I do believe, in the championship battle. Yes, 21 behind in the championship battle. Fury, he's still in that championship fight as well. What can Fury do?
Again, I think it's going to be a circuit where Fury's going to struggle. I don't think if you're in Mercedes, you're going to be struggling all night long, I reckon. But it all depends, really, how it all pans out. It all depends on the first corner. I like Jamie's comment. He says, I'm expecting you to do not a lot, Matt, says Jamie in the chat. And Emplava says that Emplava win nothing more, nothing less. And I think Emplava needs to get himself back on the top step of the podium. It's been a while. So,
been since Nürburgring. No, been since Sport last season, as we've just lost Stealth Sloth. Oh, no. So he might not be going in this second race then, as Ukbar takes pole position in this race, Dan. I believe we've lost Stealth Sloth from the race.
Not good, not good. So we went from a 11 car grid, and now we're down to 10 again. So, Ukbar from Leon Fernie, row 1, row 2, Smithy and DJ Phil, row 3. The non-qualifiers are Bryn and Welsh, who had a battle at the end. Shane versus Halty once again on row 4, row 5. Little Each and Dean Wasocki. No Stealth Sloth. Did he get himself back in time? That's the big question. It's not letting me continue here. It's just got to spin in circles. So hopefully this will get sorted soon and we will get back going. I'm expecting you not to do a lot, Matt. That's fine, Jamie. I'm not expecting to do a lot. So we share the same opinions. What is your opinion on this circuit?
I detest it. I enjoy... It's like Snetterton for me, Dan. I'm a fan of the track. I enjoy the racing that happens there. In terms of driving it, absolutely detest it.
You're going to love it tomorrow. You're absolutely going to love it.
And just when the pressure's on even more, by the way, to sort of have that now championship lead, if Overtaker's back, I've got to battle with him once again. It's been great all season. On a track I detest. What more could you possibly want? You know? We may as well be at Snetterton. Ugh. dear.
You're going to love it. You might end up winning races. You just don't know. Anything can happen. The weather, for example, I mean, I haven't even looked at it, but there might be a chance of rain. Is there a chance of rain?
No.
So the rain ain't going to help you either. So as the guys line up, it is Oak Bar on pole position. I just looked at his fuel. Hopefully that will be updated very shortly, because that's 15 litres. He ain't going to get very far on that.
The weather for tomorrow is... Oh, there is a chance of rain for Q1. Then it quickly disappears for the rest of the afternoon. But it looks cloudy tomorrow. It looks medium cloud to light cloud is what I'm going to say tomorrow. At the minute, 26 people watching the stream, 15 likes. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new. Poll out, get your vote in through you think will win. Round 22 of the season, we've lost Elf Sloth. His teammate makes his 150th appearance in Welshie. And Dan, your tip for the race win?
I'm going to have to go the way of... I can't remember who I voted now in the chat. I'm going to go... Well, I'm going to go Little Leach.
Little Leach, okay. I'm going to go Ukbar.
Yeah, I think Little Leach is going to come through the back, and his patience of racing in pro will help him out in this one. As Selsoft keeps trying to return, but he ain't going to get in, sadly.
Yeah.
Here's Ukbar on pole position with Leon Fernie alongside.
It is Ukbar on pole position with Leon Fernie alongside. This will be Bryn's 98th start, which will be in the last race of the season. As like Little Leach and Peaceful Explosion will be his 100th. Nobody making their 50th or 100th today. Welshie on his 150th start. He's not dropped the pad. And it's go. It race number 22 this season. They are off. And away they all go. Dean Wasocki, a very, very slow start. And Smithy's absolutely gone from P3 up into P2, into turn 1. Leon Fernie comes back at him. Phil looks around the outside. Dean got such an average start. It was unbelievable. And Bryn trying to get past DJ Phil early on in this race from 5th.
Yeah, they all found their way around the corner now. As there's DJ Phil going round, I think DJ Phil has gone round, and Holty's in the wall as well. So Holty and DJ Phil, not the start they would have wanted, but it's Ukbar leading the way with Leon Fernie, Smithy in 3rd, Bryn up to 4th, 5th is Little Leach. He's had a Gary start. He's flown his way through up there.
He has flown his way through.
P6, Shane P7, Dean P8, and Holty and DJ Phil bringing up the rear.
But Ukbar leads this race down through the triple and towards the McDonald chicane for the first time in this race. Leon Fernie, Smithy, Bryn, who needs to recover from his race 1, trying to gain some places and get that top 4-5 spot maybe in this championship. Smithy in these Audis, and the Audis have been very good tonight, so expect good things from Argent and BD Biggs tomorrow. Shane on the back of Welshie. Welshie's already gone defensive here, as he knows Shane, a very quick man, but Shane we've seen is very patient and will wait and bide his time, as that sounded like a spinner, and it's Bryn, who had spins in race 1. He's had a couple more spins here, and down in 8th, he's going to have to wait till lap 6 to repair that damage, if there is any at all. Leon and Smithy have history, as I remember. Do they? Yes, they do. Yes. Alton Park last season. I remember that now. I remember where you're going with that one. When Smithy was on the podium. Shane then on the back of Welshie in the background. Little Leach after Bryn's spin now has his teammate just in front of him. Needs 7th or more. And I tell you what, I'm going to send one on you. And Smithy has to bail out of that, as Little Leach took no prisoners in sending one on his teammate there.
None whatsoever. Little Leach is through. Now he's straight on the back of Leon Fernie. What has Little Leach done to that car? It's like got a rocket in the back of it. He's just absolutely fine. He's looking down the inside of Leon Fernie now. Can he get the job done? And Leon, they make contact. Little Leach goes round.
Round, taps the wall. That shouldn't be too much damage. Reverses back a little bit. Now goes again. Holty's got himself past Bryn, but Shane up into 5th place now ahead of Little Leach, as is Holty and Dean Wasocki. I don't think Bryn managed to get past Little Leach, so I think Little Leach is on his way. Shane now on the back of Welshie here through the triple, as Dean's now had a moment. Rejoins just ahead of Little Leach. Does Little Leach get him up the inside? Yes, he does. And a few spinners in this second race early doors, Dan.
Yeah, definitely so. All the spinners just seem to be struggling a little bit hotter in these conditions. Obviously, late afternoon now, so these guys will be starting to feel the heat even more now. Sorry, mid-afternoon, as we're about 3 o'clock local time in Germany. So all these guys will be feeling the heat of the sun.
Indeed they will. Shane will get past Welsh, you'd imagine, on the outside. No, he doesn't. Didn't get the run out of the corner. Welsh, though, was so easy to run into that gravel trap, and he did there, as Shane now looking up the inside into the final corner and can't get it done there on the brakes. Welsh just holding a line that Shane's struggling to get through at the moment, but 5th place for these two so far. Bryn on the back of his teammate from last season, Dean Wisocki, who said on the stream mid-break he would take 4th and was happy with that result. Smithy trying to hunt down Leon Fernie. Ugbar's not really checked out here. He's 2 seconds up front, but I get the feeling that if Shane and Smithy maybe got past Leon Fernie and Welsh, they'd be coming at Ugbar.
Possibly so. I wouldn't say Smithy by any chance, but I would say possibly Shane. As soon as he starts clearing cars, he might be able to hunt down Ugbar. Ugbar, again, just doesn't seem to have the pace. Leon Fernie able to match him at the minute, but Smithy is the man with the pace at the minute, and he's right on the back of Leon Fernie at this stage. And at the minute, Bryn is also trying to find a way past Dean. So Dean looks like he's just struggling in this second race.
He does look like he's struggling in this second race. It is early doors, and obviously a few drivers up front had problems. Race 1, and that is Welshie off. And what has happened to Welshie there? Off at the triple, gets back on, and away he goes now. Shane up ahead. Any damage to the front of that Audi? Doesn't seem to be, no.
Smithy, on the other hand, is still pressurising Leon Fernie here, so whatever Smithy's done to his car, it seems to have found a happy spot, and is looking to try and give Leon Fernie a bit of a headache here.
Liam, the Pick and Mix Motorsport Audis, Dan, do seem to be a bit sharper in this second race, as Shane once again now through, looking to get on the back of these three as quick as possible. Dean now, is still ahead of Bryn and has Welshie. Where is Welshie? No, Welshie's down in 9th, so he's got past Welshie, sorry.
Yeah, there it is. Well,
Dean's dropped it. Dean's dropped it out the final corner, and Bryn's through. Dean's in a wall, and Bryn's through. Welshie's through. DJ fell a long way back. Lap 6, the pit window opens. If you've got damage, it's a long window to carry damage with.
It is indeed. So Dean's going to have to carry that for a minute. He doesn't look like he's got significant damage to come in early. But right now, Shane is on his way to try and hunt down Smithy. Smithy now is the next man to be chased and hunted down. Can Smithy hold on to this position to help his teammate out? As Little Leach now on the back of Holty.
At the minute, his teammate doing what he needs to do to win this title. 7th or better for Little Leach in this race will win him the Pro-Am Championship. And Ugbar at the minute still leading this race, but Leon Fernie's brought that gap down to him, Dan.
Yeah, and Smithy's not too far behind him either, with Shane also not too far behind them as well. It's all about Shane looking to try and get his first win here, as Little Leach has thrown it away already. So Shane really is the favoured here now, but still, the top 3 are still in front of him at this stage.
We are still in front of him at this stage, and the pit window is getting closer and closer to being open as through the couple of final corners they come, and Ugbar just extending that gap back over a second here. As Little Leach gaining on the back of Holty, and Holty doing a mega job tonight. You have to take your hat off to Holty tonight with COVID, done a stellar job. And at the minute is just run a little wide there. Little Leach able to keep a bit of a tighter exit. Does he get that run though on Holty? He's trying to get alongside Holty, but he's the wrong side of him. And now that Mercedes grunt look just pulls Holty back in front. Little Leach changes to the inside line, brakes a lot later than Holty. Into turn 1 they go. Holty gives him plenty of room, but Little Leach can't get the job done. Does he tuck underneath now at turn 2? That could be a good move. No, backs out of it.
Yeah, but Holty's run a bit wide there. That's going to give Little Leach a run on the outside. And Smithy there still under pressure from Shane. But Little Leach around the outside can be done. But at the minute, Holty's not going to get caught out by that one there, as Holty just hangs on for a little bit longer. Shane does. Now right on the back of Smithy. Oh, they rub doors.
Yeah, trying to go up the inside at the triple there, and Smithy's gone round. He's lost the car on the exit, so Shane trying to get a move on Little Leach's last lap of 29.2. Absolutely on fire is Little Leach. He's 3/10 quicker than race 1. Absolutely solid from Little Leach at the moment. And yeah, that was side by side through the triple. Not an overtaking opportunity, but Shane wanted it bad enough.
Yeah, he might have just made rub doors with Smithy there, and Smithy obviously pushed out wide onto the gravel, and around he goes. Little Leach though still trying to find a way past Holty, and Holty with that Mercedes grunt is able to stay in front. Shane now has got his target set. He can see Ugbar. Now he's in clear air. Can he match the lap times that Little Leach is doing? But Little Leach is doing it in traffic.
Little Leach was doing it in traffic last time around. Let's see what he does this time. And again, look, Little Leach tries to get underneath Holty, but that Mercedes grunt look, just enough to pull Holty back in front of Little Leach down in the 31.6s, Shane a 31 dead. And that Mercedes power, Dan, just enough to keep Holty in front of Little Leach. Holty goes deep, expecting to send it, manages to hold station. Does Little Leach tuck underneath now as Holty drifted a little wide? He has done, and that is job done. And as his brother would say, thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
Indeed, he does. And
you love it,
Little
don't
Leach no, I hate it.
Nah.
As Little Leach now pursues after Shane. Shane, though, is now onto the back of the top two. And Ukbar and Leon Fernie just matching one another. Leon a little bit slower than Ukbar. But Ukbar hasn't had the best lap here. And Shane now within.
Leon Fernie spun!
Fernie's dropped it!
And Shane's tapped into the side of him. Leon Fernie bounces on his side, and that's going to give Shane damage. The bonus for Shane, Dan, is the pit window opens this lap. He's got Little Leach right on the back of him, and Holty and Smithy. The bonus for Shane is that the pit window is open this lap, then.
It is indeed. So Leon Fernie causing chaos there and allowing Little Leach to get right onto the back of Shane here. How much damage has Shane got? As he goes a little bit deep, I reckon he's got major damage. He nearly drops the front, he nearly drops the rear there. Holty's gone straight on as well. In comes, he's got to come in, because this is just allowing Ukbar to just disappear right now.
Well, you say Ukbar's going to disappear. Ukbar's just come into the pit lane, and so at the end of lap 6, Ukbar is in. Shane dives into the pits as well. Surprised Little Leach didn't follow him in there just to get in and out, maybe ahead of Shane and get his pit stop out of the way. Holty stays out, as does Smithy. Leon Fernie stays out in all of that as well.
He does indeed. So Little Leach retakes the lead after the race one. He's in the lead of this race. Leon Fernie must not have got too much damage from that one as well. Bryn, Welshie, all these guys staying out, but it's Shane and Ukbar who are both into the
now
pits.
Dean hit the pit wall. Sorry, Dean hit the pit wall at the end of the lap earlier. Hasn't pitted. Pit window opens and hasn't pitted. I'm very surprised at that. Ukbar, good stop. Shane, not bad. So even though he's had damage, it's not too bad. DJ Phil has had to sit and wait for Ukbar to leave his pit box, and he is now in.
He is indeed. We'll go back to the leaders. Smithy also still having a good run here. He's on the back of Holty right now, so he can still gain some points here from Holty, as Stealth Stop is now disconnected again, so he wasn't even in the race, but he has gone. And DJ Phil there is still not into his pit box. He's waited that long for Ukbar to leave the pits.
He'd have been better off doing another lap. I mean, we don't know the extent of his damage, but he'd have been better off doing an extra lap. And for DJ Phil, that's his race kind of ruined, because he needs mistakes now for drivers to come out behind. So Shane, 6 seconds behind Ukbar, but a clean car and a clean bit of health. Now, we said between 32 and 35 seconds for a pit stop. He's 34 off the back of Little Leach. So then, Little Leach, you've got to make sure you don't make a mistake, because Shane is right within that pit window, Dan.
As is Ukbar, to be fair. Ukbar still the net leader of this race. So we reckon 32-31. Bryn is in on this lap as well. So Bryn pitting on lap 7. So when does the rest of the guys come in? Welshie as well.
I think DJ Phil has had some significant damage, because he is still stationary.
Yeah, it looks like he's had major damage by the looks of things to that car. Smithy, though, still on the attack of Holty here, so he's really trying to help his team out here. Now, Little Leach is now starting to spread his legs a little bit. Lap times are coming down. You can see there, 32 seconds now to Ukbar. So Ukbar...
Has Ukbar made a mistake? Because he was some 6 seconds ahead of Shane.
Shane has also lost time as well to Little Leach, so Shane also not lapping as quick. Obviously, they've both done their pit stop.
Yeah, they've passed Bryn and Welshie. Bryn's jumped Welshie. No, Bryn was ahead of Welshie, sorry. So Bryn's ahead of Welshie and out the pits. So Little Leach will now drop to at least P7, depending on his pit stop. As DJ Phil comes out the pits, right in the middle, according to the track map dots, of... Oh, was that a spinner? No. Nobody's gone round or stopped. It just sounded like someone was very slow and sluggish. DJ Phil has come right out in between Welshie and Bryn.
Lovely job.
Yeah.
So, well, she won't be too happy about that one, because he'll want to get DJ Phil right out of his way. And Phil there, just slow on exit, and I don't know why he's done that.
Yeah, very strange for Phil, and he's wide. That car still looks battered, does DJ Phil's. He's pulled off the track. He's let Welshie through now. Little Leach has started lap 9. So has Holty, so has Smithy, so has Leon Fernie, who'd say he took a big whack from Shane early on after he'd span.
And he
he's still there. He's still there. As Dean, I do believe, is the car coming in the pit lane. Yes, he is.
He is in the pits. Lap 8, Dean Wasocki comes into the pits, and he's going to have quite a long pit stop, I reckon. But Little Leach now just starting to spread his legs a little bit.
Yeah.
Ukbar coming into the final corner. He's 34 seconds behind. He's being hunted down by Shane. And across the line he goes. Ukbar 31.0. Shane 30.6. Neither of these two are lapping the same as Little Leach, who's just gone and smashed.
Flying. He's made some changes in that mid-session break. Because
I don't think he has. I think the car just seems to suit this type session.
Possibly so, but that car is 4 tenths faster than what it was in race 1, and maybe it's the clear air that he's got early on with fresher tyres, I suppose.
Possibly so.
You know, maybe it's the pace advantage he didn't show us because he was behind Bryn and Shane early on in that first race. Either way, Dean Wasocki out of the pits now. He's lost out to Bryn and to Oshi. He can now focus on making up places when other drivers pit later on. He's well ahead of DJ Phil. He is, though, nearly a lap down to Little Leach. As Dean comes out the pits, Little Leach is coming round the final corner, I do believe, to start what will be lap 10 of this race, and crosses the line now to do so. Not Holty, not Smithy, neither does Leon Fernie pit in this session. So from Ukbar downwards have all pitted. Top 4 yet to pit. Dean scraped the pit wall on pit entry, said Jamie. That probably would have been sorted in the pits, I'd imagine. But Leon Fernie trying to put the pressure on Smithy for that podium once again.
He is indeed. He's trying to just put Smithy under a little bit of pressure right now. Obviously, they will be fighting for different positions as they're just out of sync a little bit due to Ukbar and Shane pitting as well. So they might be actually fighting for 5th and 6th here.
Could be. We'll have to see what they do. I mean, Shane's only 29 seconds behind Smithy, so a good stop for Smithy. Could come out right on that battle with Shane and Ukbar then, as Shane's getting closer to Ukbar. Every lap he does, a 31.2 for Ukbar, a 30.8 from Shane, so just another 4 tenths Shane's taken out of Ukbar's gap. And Bryn, 4 seconds behind Shane. Behind Bryn is 5 seconds to Welshie. Behind Welshie is a big gap to Dean Wasocki.
Quite a big gap for Dean. Poor Dean, he's not had the race that he probably would have wanted here, and he's going to have to try and recover as best he can. Obviously the Mercedes not suited here. Welshie has obviously now finally cleared DJ Phil, so he is on his way. Hopefully...
Bit of a quiet second race, isn't it, as compared to race 1?
It's a bit dull, isn't it? Not going on, but I think it's due to the fact that the leaders haven't come into the pits.
Yeah.
Little Leach carries on, has his Holty. Smithy starting to lose more and more time to Leon Fernie here.
He is starting to lose a bit more time to Leon Fernie. The gap's down to 1.5 seconds, and again, the top 4 choose to stay out on track. We're nearly at the halfway point in this race. 28 people watching, 15 likes on the video, so on the stream so far. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the bell to be notified, and join Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier in the commentary box. 8 p.m. BST tomorrow night for the pros, and join myself back in the box for the Shanghai International Circuit in China for the F2s. And don't forget, hit that great big red button that says subscribe. As Shane, 1.8 off the back of Ukbar now, and just starting to chip away time to Ukbar, losing time to Little Leach. But I tell you what, that gap to Holty could be an interesting one. It is around the 32-33 second mark, Holty to Shane.
It is indeed. So Holty is bringing himself back into this one once again. Shane, on the other hand, he really needs to start kicking his ass in gear at the minute, because right now he's not going to be able to get that win here at Oschersleben, and I think it might be tricky for him at Monza.
Yes, I agree with you, especially, you know, Holty, Lucas Roth. If we've got a fully fit Holty, Lucas Roth on a fully fit wheel, Dean Wasocki, JM, Grillback, Leon Fernie and the Mercedes-Benz, I think are going to be the cars to watch next week. As Leon Fernie has lost time to Smithy here then, so a bit down on his lap, made a mistake somewhere maybe. Ukbar and Shane getting a bit closer. No driver comes into the pit still. Smithy, I think, no he hasn't.
So all these guys just staying out at the minute. Still waiting on Holty, Leon Fernie, Little Leach and Smithy are the only ones still yet to pit, and yeah, not quite the race we was expecting here.
Yeah,
James made a mistake.
He has. He's lost a slight bit of time to Ukbar then. Bryn still around that 4 second mark behind him, but Bryn up on his best lap time here.
Yeah, what could have been for the Super Crash Bows?
Yeah,
they showed so much potential
from practice.
But Bryn will be more kicking himself a race one. Shane will be a bit annoyed about, obviously, that little mistake that he made. So 31.3 there is Ukbar. Now they switch lap times. 31 for Shane and a 30 for Ukbar. So Ukbar
Bryn
now
in the
responding.
30s as well, behind Shane.
Little Leach, on the other hand, still in the 29s.
And I think this is them early tyres advantage that Little Leach has got, not stuck behind Shane or Bryn where his tyres are getting hotter. He's about to lap what looks to be Dean Wasocki. Yes, he's not yet pitted, but he doesn't need to while he's pumping in these lap times. Again, another shout out to Horty, consistent in the 130s and doing a stellar job to keep with Little Leach or to try and keep with Little Leach, to say he's got the dreaded COVID.
For sure. Oh. Excuse me, as Shane goes a little bit wide through the triple there, it looks like he might have just touched the inside curve and runs a little bit wide. And Shane now starting to push too hard, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just starting to push a little bit too hard. He has caught Ukbar as Smithy now enters the pit lane at the end of lap 12. So let's see where this brings him out in relation to Ukbar. And Shane then, as Leon Fernie does the same thing at the end of lap 12, drives into the pits from P4 and P3. Will these two be able to get right? I tell you what, this could be close between, if Smithy and Leon have a good pit stop, because they're losing all this time at the minute getting to their pit box, this is allowing Ukbar and Shane to get closer. Bryn, might be in the shout here as well.
Possibly
Smithy,
so.
good stop.
Shane already gone down the back straight, so Smithy's moving. But obviously these guys are going to be halfway down the straight.
Oh, Bryn's had a wiggle.
Wiggle in the outside there. Smithy's going to be off the power any second now. So off he goes. Bryn's going to be on the turn one. So Bryn, I think, might lose out to Smithy here. As there is Smithy. No, Bryn's going to hang in there.
Oh, Smithy! Oh, just driven straight. And this is the problem with that pit exit. Look, Bryn gets turned too wrong, which, can happen in motorsport. And Smithy straight out onto the racing line. That could have been a lot worse than what it was.
It could indeed. And just to remind you again, the lap times that Little Leach is doing, as once it was a 32 seconds gap between these two, it's now 42 seconds. Yeah. So Little Leach is just absolutely blown away with
when
this
did
one.
Shane pit? Lap 6. The end of lap 6, Shane pitted. As Holty comes in at the end of lap 13. So Little Leach pitted. 8 laps ago, Shane pitted. In 8 laps, Little Leach has pulled out 10 seconds over these two. Holty in. This an interesting battle now for Holty to get out ahead of these boys, because Morai maybe do Bryn and Smithy, but Shane, who's getting closer to the back of Ukbar, put it in a 31.0 and Ukbar a 32.5. Holty stationary, goes now. Oh, Shane taps, loses out himself there, just trying to force the issue, and it didn't work. I think Holty's done the job. Yeah, job done.
He's off the limiter there, so into turn one he goes. It's going to take him a little bit longer, obviously, due to the way the corner works. So he goes a little bit wide, but Ukbar sees the Mercedes disappear into the distance.
You see there from that shot of Ukbar there, look, how Holty just straight onto the track, and that's what it would have been for Smithy on Bryn. It is a horrible pit exit line, as Dean just ahead of Little Leach. This man then, the only man yet to pit. And well, he's got a 40-second gap over Holty, but game on for the podium. Holty, Ukbar, Shane here. Game on for the podium, Dan.
Yeah, definitely so. Shane just seems to be struggling in this sector at the minute. Just pushing a little bit too hard possibly through here, as Shane looking to try and find a way past Ukbar right now, but he can't seem to find a way through. Smithy, on the other hand, is pressurising the other Super Crash Bros driver, Bryn, the man who was on pole position for the first race. He's struggling in this one.
He is struggling in this one, and Shane on a run of 3 podiums at the minute. If he gets past Ukbar, that'll be a run of 4 podiums at the minute. But it's been a while since we've heard from Ukbar. I think we spoke to him last week briefly, but it's been a while since he's had a good result, and he'll want another one here as he breaks a lot later than Shane and misses the apex. In fact, Shane did as well, and into the second part of this complex, and that's where Shane seems a lot stronger than Ukbar. But you just see Holty disappearing into the distance up front, because Ukbar is really starting to hamper Shane's momentum here, as has Bryn gapped Smithy just a little bit there.
Possibly so, ever so slightly, but I think both Smithy and Bryn are both struggling just behind them there, as Shane has got a great run towards turn one. Is he going to send it down the inside of turn one? He's looking towards do it, but he just off the brakes a little bit earlier there, and he doesn't quite get the run on Ugbar there, but he's going to go around the outside of turn 2. He's going to lead him all the way around. If he's brave, he can nail it all the way around. He's going to try it. Ugbar to the inside, Shane on the outside, and Shane gets the job done around the outside. He's now got to brake for the turn 3. A job done there from Shane. Beautiful stuff there.
Elbows out from Ugbar to try and just push him onto that AstroTurf curbing on the outside, but it didn't work, and Shane stayed tough and true to his word and into P3 as the leader pits at the end of lap 15. Dan, Shane really starting to get a racecraft together now.
Yeah, definitely so, and I think that's going to help Little Leach out massively here. These guys are all in the middle sector, while Little Leach is now coming to his pit box, so relatively easy pit stop for him.
Little Leach could change his tyres, I reckon, and still take the race lead.
Go on, Little Leach, change your tyres.
Yeah, make it interesting.
Yeah, go on. Put the wets on as well.
Oh, that's boring. That's boring. Too quick a stop then, as Holty's coming up to the penultimate corner. Shane is now heading down after Holty and would love to take a set of 2 second places, as Little Leach looks like he's on his way to becoming on the long list of Pro-Am champions, of glorious Pro-Am champions. Just the one, I suppose, Jamie. You know, Monkey Boy, Joe, Fury.
I think out of all of them, the best one was Joe.
Oh, the best championship by far was Joe in Pro-Am. But Little Leach on his way to becoming on that long list of Pro-Am champions of myself, Fury, Rabbit, Joe, Monkey Boy, and Big Boy Brazier from Season 1. And he's now on his way to becoming the champion. He's out of Gary 131's shadow, if you will, and he's showing us what he can do when the spotlight is on him. Holty, 8 seconds behind Little Leach. That's pretty much what the gap was when they pitted. In fact, if anything, Little Leach has gained a second or 2 there. So Holty, he's done a good job. Had a good night as Holty, a second and a third at the moment. Had a solid set of results.
Yeah, he has indeed. So Holty, I would arguably say, looking to be a driver of the day, carrying COVID as well. He's really been solid, especially in that Mercedes as well, which is a track that does not suit the Mercedes. He's managed to make it work the best. This man is currently trying to find a way past Leon Fernie, and he runs a little bit wide there as they come through at McDonald chicane, and well, she's just not able to catch onto the back of that Mercedes at the minute.
No, he's not able to just gain on him. Dean Wysocki has not had the race to he'd wanted. He's well ahead of DJ Phil, but he's some 30 seconds behind Welsh at the minute. Jamie Brazier, only real drivers win a championship in Pro-Am. I can agree with you on that one, Jamie Brazier, especially when they're in their Cora. As Ugbar just starting to lose touch to Shane up front, and he's just slowly being caught by the other Super Crash Bros Mercedes of Bryn, as Shane a bit quicker than the Holty last time around, some 5 tenths quicker.
Yeah, so starting to come towards the end of this race, and it's starting to the tyres are starting to scream. They're starting to give way now, and the drivers now are just got to make sure they don't lose their concentration towards the end of this race.
Yeah, it's just about getting to the end from this position. For Shane, it's another second place to propel him up this championship, because Dean's not had a great race and he's only 20 odd points behind Dean. So for Shane to get a top 10 finish here has been fantastic. For him to get even higher would be an even better achievement. This man looking to get back into the top 5 after his good start early on. Bit of misfortune mid-season, but he's looking to get back ahead of Ugbar. If he can get past him, we'll score a couple more points, close the gap. He'll close the gap on Welshie, he'll close the gap on Lucas Roth and JM Grill as well. Shane will close the gap big time on Dean Wysocki on the podium, and then with Dean down in 9th place. For Holty then, it's about maybe catching his teammate. He's only some 26 points off of the back of Keek, so he can easily catch his teammate at the moment. Bryn and Shane though hunting down Holty and Ugbar, and I tell you what, Dan, if Argent and D Biggs are watching tonight, they must be licking their lips ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won't be though. I'm pretty sure they are not watching this right now. But either way, for Audi is looking very strong here at Oschersleben. Shame there's no Porsches this season, because I'm pretty sure whoever would have been in the Porsche would have been very strong here as well. But also the Ferrari of Peaceful and Monkey Boy are ones to keep an eye out as well tomorrow night. A reminder, make sure you tune in tomorrow night as myself and Jamie will bring you the action for the penultimate round of the pros, Matt versus Overtaker. Who is going to come out on top? What's the championship top 3 at the minute?
The top 3 at the minute is Little Leach leads the way, 99 points clear of JM Grill, 106 of Lucas Roth. He needs to finish 7th or better in this race to win the championship. And Welsh here on the back of Leon Fernie. Then this for 7th and 8th. And a poll will be going out in a couple of moments' time for your driver of the day. Make sure you get your votes in for that one. And I've gone off of the best results from both races for the driver of the day. So 3 of them have been on the podium for 2. The other one had the best result in race 2 and race 1 at the moment. As well, she's made a mistake through the triple then, and that has just cost him time to Leon Fernie in this one. Shane 3 seconds behind Holty, Bryn 2 seconds off the back of Ukbar. So, you know, the Super Crash Bros try and stay in this constructors fight here and are really sort of putting the pressure on.
Yeah, they're trying their best here at the minute, but looks like it's still going more the way of the Pickett Mixed Motorsport.
Can I just put this out there, Dan? We had Shenron early in the season, and Shenron surprised us in the first 2 races and was, you know, all right, was decent. Wasn't his cup of tea, pulled out. Shane come in. Could you imagine had Shane been in the car start of the season?
Yeah, I would assume that Shane might have had a race win already under his belt.
I'd say Shane would be still fighting for. I'd say Shane would be taking his championship fight to next week.
Possibly so, I would say as well. But I wouldn't say championship right to the end, but I would say he would have gone to at least Daytona or here. Just obviously the first half of the season he was a little bit slow, trying to get used to the game, and it probably would have been the same again. But saying that, he would have had a couple more rounds under his belt. I can't remember what the first round of the season was. It's been that time ago.
Where did we kick the season off? Or was Bryn just makes a mistake through the triple, the Sakito? Yes, that was it. Dreading it. I was, as well, she tried to get on the back of Leo Fernie, Bryn tried to get on the back of Ukbar, and Shane trying to get on the back of Holty. And driver of the day vote is going to go out now, and just some drivers starting to look very twitchy through the triple, Dan. Bryn and Welshie just starting to get a bit twitchy. You better that constructors now, Matt. Yeah, whatever you've said there, Jamie. Yes, okay, will do. Right, Roger.
Pit confirm.
Yeah, pit confirm. ACGQ, okay, sweet. Bryn then right on the back of Ukbar now, and is looking to make a move as Ukbar just looks like that Janetta just looks like it's gone off towards the end of this race, doesn't it? Just looks like it's really died.
Speaking of cars dying, the Mercedes of Holty struggling at this stage.
That might not be the car. Oh, Bryn.
Oh, Bryn sending it into turn 1, and there he goes. Bryn goes past on the Janetta of Ukbar, so Bryn gets himself back up into the top 4. More
4 laps.
Shane.
4 laps, 4 seconds to these. A double Super Crash Bros podium, maybe?
I don't see it happening. I don't see Bryn catching
Shane,
these 2.
Can I just say, 29.8 has not done a 29 all lap, and all of a sudden has gone, there's a P2 here, and has woke up and gone nearly 2 seconds quicker than Holty.
Yeah, I still feel like he's going to kick himself towards the end of the night. He could have clearly had a race win under his belt in the first race, and he's got a little bit of damage to the front end of that car as well. You better win that Constructors now, Matt, and you'll be looking for a new teammate, or you'll be looking for a new teammate. That's what Jamie's on about.
Jamie, we'll sort that when it comes to it. It's a big off season ahead of us as Lidl crosses line does his best lap of the race, a 29.262, starts lap 21, and you know, when you thought he might take his foot off the gas and just bring it home, no, he is absolutely fighting this one out. Smithy has got ahead of Leon. No, Smithy was already ahead of Leon Fernie, and well, she apologies as Shane just a 10th quicker than Holty on that last lap, 1.3 the gap, and he's got 3 laps to do it. Bryn 5.4 off the back of them. He's got a real task if he wants to catch them, but was quicker than the pair of them last time round. Ukbar's car has just gone off, Dan. It's 32s now. It's just died.
Yeah, he's just struggling now. I think the tyres have gone on him at the minute, and yeah, right now, by the list of things, Little Each is going to be your Season 6 Pro-Am champion. Super Crash Bros that can keep in the Constructors all the way to the end here. But right now, this man, your ex-pro Constructor champion of twice with his brother, he's ditched his brother, he's back in Pro-Am, and he's on his way to possibly become a winner himself. He's become a champion.
He's become a champion on his own. And what a season he's had, Dan. 7 wins along the way. This could be race win number 8. Could get to double figures by the end of the season. He only had 3 wins before going into this round, and Little should be in this position, but obviously with the birth of his son last season, it was a lot of time focusing on that and a lot of time not being able to get the laps in, and struggled with it. Smithy's really attacked the curve there as at 29.7 just to keep that consistency going. Shane, 1.2. He's got that gap down just a tenth more.
It seems like as soon as he hits the dirty air, he can't get closer.
Yeah, seems like it takes the car to make a mistake in front, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. Or the car to just die. Ukbar just seems to be struggling. What is Ukbar's fuel? Okay, it's not his fuel. I thought he might have put it in lane, but he's got definitely enough fuel to get himself to the end.
Oh, it's a better lap from Ukbar.
Yeah.
Walshy has dropped right off the back of Leon Fernie. He is some 5 seconds behind him now. And that one will not be that. Dean Wysocki 24 seconds off the back of Welshie as well, so that will be all she wrote for Dean and DJ Phil. He's a fair few laps down, but this man now within a second of Holty, Dan, and with 1 and a bit laps to go, is really maybe making a late charge here.
I don't think he is though. I think the air drift of the front end of that Audi is just not liking the back end of that Mercedes. He goes deep. Once again, he's just missing his braking. He can't seem to get it done.
I don't know, Dan. He's actually gained a 10 through that corner by going deep.
Yeah, but it's ebbing and flowing, isn't it? He just seems to make time, and then Holty down this straight should just pull. Look at him, he's pulling away now, and that time just grows. Look at it, 7 tenths, and now in the brakes, the Audi comes back.
It does indeed. So all it takes, though, is 1 little moment for Holty, and Shane could be through. This man then starting his last lap before becoming Pro-Am champion for Season 6. So just a 29.1. Where's that pace been all night? Shane, now Dan, right up the gearbox. He's left it till lap 23 of round 22. And he's thinking, right, let's have a fight here. Nearly, he was a whole second quicker than Holty. Is he going to look up the inside? No. Not quite mastered the send it manoeuvre yet, but putting the pressure on Holty and letting Holty know that he is there.
He needs to speak to Sutty Apex about the send it manoeuvre. He needs to have a good chat with him because he seems to be the man for it. Holty defends the inside. Shane is looking down the inside though. Holty's making it difficult for him. Shane can't find a way through. All this is going on while Little Leach is through the middle sector. Little Leach is on his way to join his brother in being a champion. Not quite the pro champion, but he will win the Pro-Am as Shane just too close to that curve. He's really risking it here to try and get past Holty. But Holty, all he has to do is survive the final sector and he will hang on to P2 here.
Risk and reward for Shane as Little Leach is heading up towards the penultimate corner. We'll cut to him in just a moment because at the minute this battle really ebbing and flowing and it is going the way of Holty as Shane pulls out to make a move. He's got just a nose on the inside. No, he doesn't. Little Leach to the final corner though. Here's your Season 6 Pro-Am champion and has done it in style with another race win. Back to Shane and Holty. 2 corners to go. Shane on the outside. They just touch a little bit. Shane turns in and Holty here, and they're both off and wide, and that I reckon will be Holty's corner. They're still together, Dan, and Holty comes through. He's round, and Shane taps him straight, and Shane will take second place. But I have a feeling the stewards may want to look at that one.
Yeah, that's not kind of the way the end of the race should have gone. Holty will probably not be too happy about that when he comes home in P3. Bryn P4. P5 will go the way of Ukbar. Smithy will come home for P6. You flash our lights from here. And Leon Fernie will finish in 7th. 8th will go the way of Welshie. Dean already in 9th and still on his last lap. DJ Phil has finished. But what a final few laps there from Holty and Shane there.
Yeah, absolutely great drama to the very end, and well done to Holty and Shane. You know, they tried, I assume they tried to keep it as clean as possible. Just a few too many bumps and taps here. Holty actually had the slide all on his own, but was that caused by going off earlier on? I'm sure the stewards will want to take a look at that one. Smithy has crossed the line in 6th. Leon Fernie got a 7th place, but obviously the stewards will want to check to make sure he retired with cause in race 1, otherwise it could be another 25-point deduction and a qualifying ban for next week. Dean Wysocki will cross the line in 9th. DJ Phil will cross it in 10th. Job for the stewards, says Emplava in the chat. We hope to get the top 3 in. Little Leach as well takes the fastest lap of the race. And Dan, that was absolutely brilliant at the end.
It was absolutely brilliant. I'd need to remember to save the replay, which I have done now. Work to do, Dan, with that. Thanks for that one, guys. We'll have a good look at that one and determine who should finish where. It might be either a reverse positions. We will see what happens. But nonetheless, Little Leach has gone and done exactly what he needed to do this evening.
Indeed he has. He is the Season 6 Pro-Am champion, and it's nearly there for the Pick & Mix Motorsport to win the Constructors. JM Grill still second with Lucas Roth in third. Holty, though, 11 points behind Lucas Roth. He is so close to maybe that top three and maybe a promotion into the Pro Series. Obviously, the discussions for the admin over the course of the off-season. Welshie, fifth place. He is 13 points behind Holty. Ukbar, in sixth, 4 points behind Welshie. Bryn is 2 points behind Ukbar. Dean Wasocki on 191. He is now 17 points behind Bryn. Shane is only 15 points behind Dean, so a top 8 could be on for Shane still. Smithy in 10th place on 158. DJ Phil in 11th on 149. Stealthsloth 12th on 137. That Bozzy Boy 121, and Neil Fernie up onto 21 points, but obviously could be back into negative points by the end of the week. Pick & Mix Motorsport then 5-2-8 and need to outscore Teletubby Motorsport by 31 points next week to win the Constructors' Championship. Obviously decisions pending on that one at the end because Teletubby might gain 5 points back. Super Crash Bros cannot win the Constructors' Championship but are up into third place out of My Mate Racing. What a job from Super Crash Bros. Lost 30 points early on with Shenron dropping out, and Shane and Bryn have really picked up the points. My Mate Racing down in fourth on 366. Terminal Velocity Racing just behind them on 359. MC Motorsport on 351 and getting quicker, My Mate on 212. And we don't have anybody in for an interview yet because it's the same top three and we are just waiting for them to come in.
I was going to say, I don't need to send the invites out.
No, same party. Get your final votes in for driver of the day. So currently the vote is going the way of Little Leach. A vote Shane and Holty. Nothing for Bryn at the moment is Gary. Well done, bro. Well done, Little Leach. Chase Jamie Fury's Grandad. Congrats, Little Leach. And Little Leach, a few trophies there. GG Little Leach. Smithy will teach you the Champione. Smithy, look at Smithy carrying 2 drivers in 2 seasons to a drivers' championship. He's becoming the new Kieran Argent of the Forever Forward days.
Definitely so. And we finally get Little Leach in.
Yeah, one of them is in, and it's this man. Holty may have gone to bed, and we haven't got Shane in yet, but we will start with this man. Season 6 winner. That must feel good.
Yeah, it's about time I took something off my brother, I suppose, isn't it?
Artie Shadow and on the top step.
Yeah, happy with that, to be fair.
Good race though, race 2. The pace looked a lot quicker from yourself in that second race, and it was just get to the front and pull away, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a steady run, to be fair. Got to the front and I did hold myself a little bit. I softened the springs, but that was about it, to be fair, but got a lot more pace out of her.
You had one mistake with Leon Fernie early on where you saw you take a spin. Did you worry for a little bit?
A little bit when I dropped to about 9th. I thought, got some work to do here, but lucky it paid off and just carried on.
Well, congratulations on the championship. You are the Season 6 champion, so congratulations on that. Monza next week, what can you do? Obviously, celebrations, no doubt, at the weekend and focus for Monza Monday morning.
I'm actually going away at the weekend. I'm back Tuesday, so there won't be no practice, but hopefully a double podium will be nice.
Double podium. Well, there you look. He's even booked he's pre-booked holiday, Dan. He's that confident. He's pre-booked holiday for this weekend. Well, congratulations on tonight. Congratulations on the season.
Lovely. Cheers. Thank you.
And I believe we've got Holty in the chat as well. And Holty, massive congratulations to yourself tonight. That must have been absolutely tough.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sweating buckets and losing my voice at the minute.
A bit of a ding-dong in them last couple of corners. Shane wanted it bad enough, and Rubin's racing, they say, and you was both on the grass. You was both door-to-door. Just talk us through what happened from your point of view.
Yeah, I was just really struggling towards the end, and then I got tapped, and my rhythm just went then. And I'll leave it to the steward to sort out, really.
Third place nonetheless, for the time being. Obviously, see what the stewards say on that one. Back-to-back third places with COVID. That's a mega achievement.
Yeah, I'm happy enough to be back up here again. Obviously, the Mercedes is really struggling around here. So I was expecting 6, but top 3, I'm very happy with that.
Well, we will let you go. Go and get some rest and hopefully feel better for next week as well. But well done tonight.
Cheers, and congratulations to Little Leach.
Cheers, mate.
No Shane in the party, so we won't be able to hear from him tonight. Dan, final words from you and driver of the day on what has been a brilliant Oschersleben, if you're an Audi driver.
Definitely so. If you're an Audi driver, you'll be over the moon. But nonetheless, we will be going to the next round for the pros tomorrow night. And D-Biggs and Arjun must be very happy if they've been watching tonight, because the Audi looks very strong. I have to take my hats off to Holty. I've done racing with COVID myself, and it is not easy. So in that case, Shane and Little Leach, obviously Shane, great night's worth of racing. Little Leach obviously winning the championship. He gets my driver of the season already, Little Leach. But Holty for me tonight takes driver of the day, because driving with COVID is a mission alone, let alone racing with these guys as well. To take 2 podiums as well, Holty for me is driver of the night, and in the Mercedes-Benz as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a titanic drive for him, and looking forward to pros tomorrow night. I reckon it's going to be absolutely chaotic.
I agree with you. Good mention, Shane and Bryn. Great pace in the Audis as well as Little Leach, but I have to agree, Holty driver of the day for the fact of 2 podiums with COVID. Little Leach for driver of the season, early call. I'll answer that one next week, because there's a few drivers that I think deserve a good shout out this season. But he's done it again. The GOAT carries his teammate to a Drivers' Championship. He did it last season, he's done it this season. Now he needs a second Constructors' Championship for his name. Join us next week for the finale at Monza. The Tifosi will be all in their best voices. But for a Lamborghini, not a Ferrari, because of the fact there is no Ferraris in Pro-Am. Can the German Audi or the German Mercedes-Benz, maybe the English Ginetta, ruin the Italian Lamborghini's party? Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier will be back live tomorrow night. Oschersleben A course for the pros. Myself, Overtaker Fiore. 3-way fight for the championship. Where's it going to go to? Who's it going to go to? And will it be done tomorrow? Will it go to Monza? We'll wait and see. I'll be back in the commentary box tomorrow night, on Sunday night, at the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix, the F2s on orthodubs. 4 wins in a row. Can Gary, Jamie or Forsey stop them? Can Mazda maybe do something crazy with his tyres once again and win his first race of the season? Join us then, 7 p.m. BST, Sunday night, to find out. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, it's a massive congratulations to Little Leach, and a good night.
Good night.
To Little Leach, and a good night.
Good night.
Oh, Dan, I love that good night there. That was just...
I love the fact that you just muted as you said good night as well.
Yeah, I don't know why I muted. I'd muted the thing on the PC and then muted my mic at the same time. Oh, he's a fucking champion. Look at him. Loving it.
It's about time, really, isn't it?
Fuck, you know. Wait till he tells his missus. Oi. Dan, that's going down on his Love Island application for next season. Season 6 Pro-Am champ.
Fucking hell, why have I not signed up to fucking... Tell you what, Craig, should we sign up together? You could put Pro-Am champ and I'll put Pro champ.
Yeah, mate, let's do it.
Let's do it. We could cause absolute fucking chaos.
See some good birds, you know, who cares?
Fuck's sake.
My application would be, I have a bit of a dad bod, and these days girls like a dad bod, so fluffy, fat, bear-like, basically.
Yeah, man.
And then you could just say that you're a Pro-Am champ. That's what
You've only noted 4 things. Oh.
I mean, there's a lot of issues with me.
Very well behaved. Page of Champions, Pro-Am, Season 6, Little Leach. There you go, he's on. He's on.
Fucking hell,
yeah,
you were keen to do that one. You didn't even do it that fast for yourself.
No, it took me a couple of days to do it for myself.
Really, mate.
Fucking hell. Where's the GOAT? Let's get in the other party, speak to the GOAT.